Okay, we're live. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Ravenflower, and today I have my witchy daughter because she messaged me the other day and says, I think of you as a witchy mom." And I like teared up a little bit because I was like, that is so incredibly precious, and it's an honor, and I am absolutely welcoming you with open arms. I'd be happy to be your witchy mom. But this is my witchy daughter, Cinder Moonstone. She is a Louisiana witch. We have met at, I think it was second witchy meet and greet at
Texas
Renaissance
Rainbows.
Festival. Yeah. And I got to meet your lovely fiance at the time, but now husband,
Now husband,
Nell
yeah.
the Hub, Nell the
Yeah.
Hubs.
Hot Mess Express 101. Yep.
Yep.
Him.
Yep. And I see that Mark Kipper has his popcorn ready, so he's ready
Oh,
for this chat. And I also see Kim. I also see Rowan Woods. Hey, hey, what's up, peoples?
wow.
Well, this is a very casual little witchy chat and truth talk, and so my friend here has some truth to tell. So tell me about yourself. How did we meet? Let's start there. How did we
Ooh.
meet, and how did that go? And how did you get to this path?
So I think it was about 5 years ago now, which is crazy for me to say that it's been that
Oh
long, but
my God, it
it's
really
been about
has.
5 years. At the
Wow.
time, I had just graduated college and undergraduate part one because you can't ever be done with college. Apparently, I'm going back for my master's degree, so that's where the dark humor comes from.
Good
Anyway,
for you. Would you like to take math for me?
no, you
No.
can have it.
No, I understand.
No, not at all. So I kind of did in college where you start questioning things, and I was born and raised Catholic. We weren't strict Catholic, but
Oh, really?
I mean, yes, born and raised Catholic. We weren't like go to church every Sunday. I never did get confirmed because it just didn't fit into the busy schedule at the time.
Mhm.
Um, but I did grow up Catholic, and so by the time I hit college, I kind of was like, I don't know if this is right. And so I kind of started questioning things for about 2 years there. And
Mhm.
then after I had graduated college, I was kind of going through this period where, you have your what am I doing with my life? Trying to find a job, trying to do that BS. And then this smacked me right in the face. I fell down a YouTube rabbit hole, where you're just like looking at videos, and then you're like, how did I end up here? But you can't
Mhm.
look away.
Mhm.
That's how I found witchcraft, to be
Yeah.
completely honest. I found Tequila's videos, I found Sunshine's videos,
Mhm.
and they kind of led me to you. And I shot you a
That's kind
message.
of how I started. That's how I started. It's exactly how that happened. Yep.
I kind of shot a couple of messages around after watching hours and hours of content, and started downloading ebooks, and just I was a little sponge, as witches kind of are whenever we start, actually, as we stay.
Mhm.
And I think I shot you a message on your YouTube channel, and I kind of shot a couple of
Um,
different messages out. I think I hit up Tequila, but she was so popular then, it probably just got lost in or maybe she replied back once. Anyway, I found Crescent too. Me and Crescent were tight for a little while. But I just had so many questions, and you picked up the ball immediately.
I did? Oh,
You
good.
you yeah, actually you did. You picked up the ball pretty quickly. Messaging on YouTube, and then I think not too long after that, you started like the live shows and the witchy meet and greets and stuff.
Mhm.
And so I kind of like tacked onto that because I thought that's where it went, and it just kind of went from there. You and I just kind of clicked, I guess, and that's why I kind of came up with that. You were my witchy mom to an extent because you were always kind of there chilling out in the background. We don't talk every day or anything, but
Well, I'm here, daughter.
I definitely appreciate it.
It's not Pose. It's not Pose in the House of Abundance, but I'm here.
No, I feel like we have so many similarities that we do click really well. And I didn't really have anybody. I knew no one at the time who was even remotely not Christian at
Oh,
all.
okay. Uh-huh.
I found out later that I come from one of those like uh what is it called? I have half sisters over here, half sisters over there,
Yeah,
all over the place kind of family. I found out that one of my half sisters that I'm not as close to, just because she lives across the country and there's a little bit of an age gap. She's actually pagan, and but she kind of kept it like on the DL because of our mom,
gotcha.
and everything. And I guess I kind of knew, but mom always referred to her as the hippie child, and that was it. So we actually reconnected over this after you and I did, which I thought was really kind of funny. And she's been there a
That's
couple
cool.
different times, but
That's cool, though. That's very, very cool. I've got an aunt who has sort of some witchy tendencies, and I don't
Mhm.
talk to a whole lot of my family because a lot of it is estranged,
Right.
It's all tied up with, past
Yeah,
crap,
right.
So I have like when I moved here to the West Coast, she's just like, well, hey, I'm down in Salem, Oregon.
Mhm.
I'd love to meet up. And we'd been estranged for so long that I just never really felt comfortable at first
Mhm.
to like go and see her because I didn't know what I was getting into. Then
Right.
she just like suddenly shows up on the island here because she's, had like palling around with her friends and having a good time. We meet up at a restaurant or whatever, and it's just like it was instant, like grab each other and hug each other, and it was just
Yes.
like yay! Like I do have family out there. There is family out there. We
Yeah.
all don't get along or agree, but at least there are those like little pockets of
Mhm.
people that you can connect with.
Mhm.
And that's so special. That's so special when that can happen, especially when you share DNA.
Yes.
It's rare. It's
Yes.
rare.
Yes. And I thought it was kind of interesting because just because I don't want to, we're not estranged by any means. We're just not close enough we're not close enough physically and distance
Hmm.
wise to have that. And I asked her to be a bridesmaid in my wedding. I got married back in 2019, and I would have bet money she probably would have made up an excuse. She showed up. We spent a whole weekend in New Orleans. She showed up. She was here. We went to we dragged my Catholic mother into crystal stores, into
Oh,
everything in downtown in French Quarter, New Orleans. And my
love
mom
it.
was like, what happened? What? Because I told my mom towards the beginning of this, and she kind of just was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Ever.
It is what it is. Even though she's had contact with all kinds of spirits, she's so freaking sensitive. I need to like ward her. She's just a mess, but still to an extent, she's like, eh, whatever, Tiffany. Like, it's fine.
She was just very dismissive about the whole
Mhm.
situation, like it was a phase maybe for
Yes,
you.
yes. Oh,
You know what? My
absolutely.
kids did that to me. My kids did that to
Absolutely.
me too. They're like, "We're doing what?" And then when I started the YouTube channel, they were
Mhm.
like, "Are you really gonna do this?" Like, I mean, it was crazy attitude. It was crazy attitude. And then, I don't know, it worked out for me. And so then I saw them like, "Hey, you should ask
Mhm.
my mom this." sending they're sending their friends to me for help, and
Yes,
it was just like, well, I guess I arrived. If anything, if I really just wanted to connect with like-minded people, I didn't really want to
yes,
be popular. Yeah.
absolutely. I've kind of toyed around with the idea of a YouTube channel, but I think I need to kind of focus on pulling myself out of the broom closet a little bit more. Like you said, I live in Louisiana, so any of the Southern Bible Belt witches kind of know you have to get through this point of you don't really care what
Mhm.
other religions say about you, and y'all know who I'm talking about. And I'm
Yeah.
in that phase where I'm like, I'm making the effort to start coming out to some of our close friends, and I'm
Mhm.
so thankful for the support I've had so far.
Yeah.
um Even a couple of friends I was a little worried about because they've asked me, do I want to go to church with them, and I kind of gave them whatever excuse to be nice.
Hmm.
And I'm finally coming out to them, and they're just like, "Why didn't you tell me sooner? I have so many questions. Da 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 da. Da. You do this, you do that. Oh my gosh,
Uh-huh.
do you do tarot? Would you read me?" I'm like, "Whoa,
Whoa. Too much, too soon.
Um,
Hold up. I'm trying to figure it out. Hold up.
I'm just overwhelmed by the love and support, especially from people around my age group. So the people we went to high school or not high school with, college with, my friends,
Mhm.
my husband's friends that were all kind of with us through all of that. Those are the friends that, and it might just be just my generation being a little bit more open about it, but
Maybe so. Yeah.
my sister-in-law as well, she's like, that's cool. Like, that's totally cool. So,
Yeah, once they figure out that you're not sacrificing children, I think that they kind of let go of a lot of that stuff. But
yeah.
there's still, like, even in witchy circles, so like here, the demographic is more Wiccan, earth spiritualist, very much in that um vegan sort of, like, it's very
Gotcha.
um I don't know. And I also think that they have problems with men, which I can
Interesting.
understand from past trauma or things that they have gone through, but I have never been in a circle without Noah. I couldn't imagine being in a circle without Noah or my husband Bear.
Right.
That those are two things. And it's like I don't really feel like witchcraft has a gender.
Mhm.
And I think it's more about shared energy. I'd be more concerned about doing ritual work or circle work with people I don't know and I don't know their energy. Like I can't trust it.
Mhm.
I'm more like, I don't know about this. You know what I mean? But there's certain people like I'd be immediately down.
Mhm.
Like I know that they're not going to bring something that would hurt or, even if we don't completely agree. Like, okay, so like one of our circles that we had done, I think it was Snow, it was Noah, Tequila. I
Mhm.
want to say Bex, maybe Bex. I can't remember. I can't
Mhm.
remember exactly, but it was like the last big thing that happened at my house and in Texas.
Mhm.
And we were all, calling, I think we were calling ancestors. We were calling ancestors and also our deities, but
Oh,
each of us, were calling our own deities in
mhm.
that circle and ancestors in that circle. And it was really cool that we could all be ourselves and have our own individual
Mhm.
connections without
Right.
having it to be this generalized thing that most circles will make you do.
Right.
And I thought that that was really super special.
I agree. It does depend on who you're around though. I
Hmm.
don't get the opportunity to work with many, if any, other witches down here at all. Just because our personal circle is so small, there's really not any options. I think the only thing even remotely close is the once a year Pagan Pride in NOLA that got canceled last year because of COVID. I have
Yeah.
yet to make it down there because something always comes up and then I'm like, crap, I missed it. And
Yeah.
then that's it. Um, but I
When
did
is Pagan Pride in New Orleans?
usually
Is it
October-ish.
okay? October-ish? Okay.
Usually like the beginning of October.
Okay.
However, I haven't seen anything for this year yet, so I don't even know if they're gonna have the
Yeah, I
opportunity
don't even
to do
know.
it because of New Orleans legislation,
Hmm.
specifically. It's
Hmm.
very tight down there with COVID regulations and stuff. Um,
Might be. I mean, you're talking about a city. I mean, I swear to God, if Meredith hears me say this, Meredith or Eric hear me say this, I'm like, people piss in the streets. I mean, how much more regimented are you really going to be? I mean, come
nah,
on, it smells like pee.
they try. They really try. They really crack down actually.
Do they?
All the bars were shut down. Curfew, like it
Dude.
will crack down on mask policy. Like it was very the quarter was actually kind of like shriveling up and bleeding out.
That would have been devastating to their tourism.
Absolutely, it
Devastating.
was, it was, and then it kinda started to
God.
pick back up, when did I do that with my sister? October, we had, like, a weekend together, and we went down to New Orleans, and it was, like, probably, like, a third of what I remember a couple of the
Yeah.
times I've, been a tourist in my own state kind of a thing,
Mhm.
because 'cause we're just close enough that we can do that in a day trip and be done. We're like an hour and a half from New Orleans, so
Oh,
it's
cool.
I know exactly where my favorite crystal shop is down there. I know exactly where to go, know exactly where to park. But I'm far enough away that I don't have to deal with it. But they were
What's your opinion of Hex? The Christian Day stuff. Okay, so all right, so I get that face a lot. I get that face a lot. Okay,
yeah.
so my witchy friends that live in New Orleans,
Mhm.
eh, like when I was there and I'm like, well, I gotta go because it's on the list, and they're like, and then I've got others that are just like friends with him and they're like, you gotta go. And like they're so jazzed about it. I went to the shop. I liked the shop. I liked the way it
Mhm.
was set up. I loved that there was that memorial altar that they
Yeah.
have there and they
Yes.
keep that going. If I ever have a witchy shop, that's something that I will definitely do. And I
Yes.
like that they had a very eclectic
Yes.
amount of stuff. However, I could see that it was really commercialized,
Oh, 100.
extremely
100.
commercialized. I
Um,
still bought stuff.
oh,
I still bought stuff. I'm still gonna buy stuff.
absolutely. It's to an extent, it's kind of hard not to, especially because there just aren't a lot of metaphysical shop options.
I know.
Um,
I know.
there's like two or three in New Orleans, and then I think there's like one in Shreveport.
Oh,
And
really? Okay. I know
th-
there's one in Salem. I know there's one in Salem because I know Nathan King was talking about that. He's been there, several times.
oh, are you talking about Hex specifically?
Hmm.
Okay, yes. There's one in Salem and there's one in New Orleans. I meant metaphysical stores, period.
Oh,
Anything
okay.
remotely. You would think with like um I hate to say this with like voodoo culture, and you think they try to plug a couple more like metaphysical stuff. Nothing. It's so
Well,
bare.
they're there. They're there. It's just a back room that you kind of got to be invited to. Like,
You're right.
it's
No, you're
like
right.
all the, yeah,
You're right.
yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing.
You're right. However,
I've been in
without
one and I about peed my pants, and I'm like,
I
I
just meant
don't
anywhere to
belong
get
here.
any kind of supplies. So like it's good just because it's out of what we have, out of
Yeah.
what I can get my hands on. But I usually try to I get a lot of my stuff from you. I have to order a lot of stuff and just cleanse the hell out of it. So
Oh, dude, oh, cool. Noah says he's going to hire you to be his NOLA tour guide.
I may not be that good, but we can both drunkenly figure it out together.
Yeah,
Bourbon, figure something out, go back to bourbon, figure,
and figure something out and go
figure
back to
something
bourbon.
out.
Yeah,
I will say the
you can
ghost
always
tours
go
are
through
bomb.
Pirate Alley. There's some really good bars, little dive bars right off of Pirate Alley. Good stuff there. Good
Pretty
stuff.
much all of the ghost tours are good. I haven't tried every single company, but pretty much all of the ghost tours are good. My mom's caught an orbs on camera.
Ooh, good.
If I could find the picture somewhere, she caught like half a face with a ruffle shirt in a window. Oh
So
god!
that's crazy. Yeah,
So
you know what? It is thick. It is really thick. The last time I was there was, oh my God, it had to have been 2019.
mhm,
So right before we moved, we went to go see Eric and Miss Monarch and just
mhm,
had some fun and just saw them for a little bit because we didn't know how long it was going to be till we saw them, and we had no idea that COVID was going to hit.
right.
But we'd gone, and Eric was taking us around to some of these little bars
Mhm,
downtown at night. And I am a empath medium, have some trouble sometimes with certain places. And it's like, I've got to, it's like there's layers of protection. So, like, you got your jewelry,
yes.
then you got your oils. And then
Yes.
you're pulling out like big stuff. You're stuffing your bra with crystals. Like, you don't know what level of stuff
Mhm.
you really need.
That's the
And at
only thing.
that particular time, while I was there, I'm standing outside. I'm looking at Eric, and then something out of my peripheral on the rooftops. There's shadow people
Ugh.
jumping from roof to roof. And I'm like, looking up, and Eric and Meredith are looking at me, and I'm just like, you see them, right? And then Meredith's like, mm-hmm. And I'm just like, how do you deal with this? I'm like, I couldn't, like, on the daily, that would be rough. They were just everywhere. It was like rats, horrible, nasty grossness of dark, nasty spirits that were just sort of around and hover. And it's like they were waiting like vultures. That's
Mhm.
how it felt. It was
Mm,
gross.
I am not so sensitive,
Mhm.
and it's enough to give me heebie-jeebies. So, and where you kind of just do the, oh, okay,
You're
so
in, I gotta go. Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but we got to
You
go.
were like, beignets, beignets.
Right. Let's go back
Come
to absolutely.
Absolutely. Oh, the beignets are delicious. Okay, that's another question for you. Which one? Is it Cafe Du Monde or is it the other one? The other one is on an off street, and I think I like the other one better. I can't remember. I think it was God dang it, I need to think about what the name of it was. It's probably in one of my other videos, but there's like all these antique stores across from it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's like little hole in the wall. It's very skinny
Mm-hmm.
and it has all these like little striped awnings in the front.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about? And lots of brass and gold um, fixtures just everywhere. It's
So I
like,
have passed by it, but I
okay,
have yet to try it.
well, then guess what we're going to be doing in
Okay.
2023? Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Oh, I will
Yeah.
absolutely be there. Even if we do not cruise, I will absolutely be there.
I'm going to see a bear's going to be like, I'm holding it down. He's got like six seats on everything. He's like, everybody come in.
Yes. Absolutely.
Delish. Delish. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So I talked your ear off about New Orleans. Sorry.
It's
You
fine.
have other
I
things
can
to
talk
say.
about
I apologize.
anything. No, you're good. You're good. So, do we go back to
Oh, I
Oh
see
my
somebody's
goodness.
talking about Midnight Moonrise says, when I went to Salem last summer, here, I'll just bring it up on the screen so you can see it.
Oh,
Do you
perfect.
have the chat up or no? Well,
Um
now you do.
okay, perfect.
When I went to Salem last summer, we went to Christian Day's store there, and I honestly thought that it was subpar compared to Crow Raven Corner, and I felt which felt amazing, and their psychics felt off.
But their psychics felt off.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah, I haven't tried out any of their like hexes, tarot reader, psychics, anything like that. I just kind of, breeze walk in, see what they got this time and walk out. So
Mhm.
I can see it's the commercialized has kind of worked its way in because it is a tourist town. So
It's a tourist town. Yeah, I will say that just down the street
Mhm.
there is a fantastic little place. It's not a witchy shop, but it is a bar that also sells all these coffee drinks with liquor in them. You're
Oh,
just like, it's amazing. And there's like this big, like, I don't know, it looks like an old saloon in the
oh,
background.
oh.
It's great. So yeah, that's another thing we're definitely gonna. And people, if those of you that have just joined us and you're like, why are we talking about New Orleans so much? So the next witchy meet and greet, we have one here that's happening on the West Coast on Whidbey Island. That's happening this September, and then the next one is going to be actually in New Orleans. I want to say, what did we say? February. I got to look at notes. I don't know, but anyhow, we're trying to do a whole big witchy meet and greet in New Orleans, and that's why we're all so jazzed about it. So I know it's a ways off, but there's also a cruise attached to it. So there's some that are just coming in for Friday night and Saturday to run around town and have fun. And then there's those of us. So then some of those people will stay Sunday and continue. And then there's some of us that are going on a week cruise starting
Yes.
Sunday to the next, whatever. So that's the thing. So that's why we're excited.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
we're very excited.
It'll be nice to see everybody again. Oh, COVID and everything.
All right. So let's see. Oh gosh. Now Mark is like gone from popcorn to margaritas. Listen here, Mark. Listen here right now. Like you need to share.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can't just have it one mango margarita. We
No,
gotta make it
seriously.
better.
Seriously. Okay, well tell me some more.
Okay. So we're gonna go backtrack back a little bit. Let me see. So I kind of took a break from my spiritual path, if you will. My husband and I, fiance at the time, we bought a house. Then we turned around and got married like 6 months later. And, moving into a new house and everything, you kind of just unpack the necessities and then you get to the rest later. And I don't know about y'all, but I am not a witch that witches every day. I'm not a witch that witches every week. Sometimes I'm not a witch who witches every month. Sometimes life just gets in the way. And I did not realize I took a year and a half off. My shit stayed in a box.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in my den. It was right there. Like I was about to all I had to do was pop the lid. But I never felt drawn to open it up. I didn't need it at the time. And I probably did need it at the time, actually, because the new job I started ended up having some toxic people.
Oh,
One, no fault of her own. She was kind of taking some shit out on me that didn't need to be taken out on me, but it wasn't really either of her faults. And then another one was just a toxic mess. And so it was like, it just was just one of those people that suck the life right out of you and
ugh.
bring in all of their personal crap. And it's just, but like nothing's their fault. And it was a lot. And so I kind of went through this process for about a year and a half. And it was like that. And I just thought I'm handling it, but I didn't have any energy to do anything. I didn't have any energy to
Do
touch
anything else.
this, do anything else. I was just functioning at a base level. And I kind of made the decision at that point, at a lowest point, that I was going to go back to school for something different. I have a marine biology degree. I have a veterinary technician degree. I was working, still am at the moment, as a veterinary technician. And at the time I was like, you know what? I can make a lot more money than what I am now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go back and be a teacher. And so that's what I'm going back to be my master's, to get my master's in. I want to be a science teacher.
A science teacher? Oh, I love science.
Science teacher. I am.
Science is witchcraft. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, my husband at the time, he's also not, he's straight Catholic. And so I don't include him in anything, he'll be like, what's this? Okay. And then walk away. Like that's as far as it's gonna go. What is it? What does it mean? Okay, you
All
do
right.
you. And so he kind of looked at me. He was like, "Well, how are you going to do that? How do you do the science and the magic thing?" And I was like, "Well, to me, magic is just science that hasn't been figured out how to explain yet. People haven't figured out how to fully explain it. To me, it goes right hand in hand. To me, you can apply a lot of scientific laws and theories to magic. A lot of people, I've been using this analogy recently when pulling myself out of the broom closet to people, and they start having questions and everything, and they were like, well, how does that work? And I kind of bring up, do you know the placebo effect in medicine, where they give sugar pills but you think you're getting better, and so you're putting energy towards getting better so you get better? That's what I think magic is. You're putting
that intention. You're putting that intention in. You're pushing. It's a manipulation of energy.
Exactly.
And it has been proven in science that all things have some sort of energy to it. And when we apply certain things towards a spell, and as you can say to Christian people, well, your prayer, you're kind of doing the same thing. You're lighting a candle, you're including some elements.
Yes.
You might be putting some offerings for a memorial for somebody, all of these things. And you're giving this prayer, you're giving that intention and that energy towards a specific purpose.
Yes.
And so that's what we're doing. We're directing our energy and using the elements and those things and all of the accessories.
Yes.
All the accessories to make it happen. That's yeah.
Yes. And that's where I've been going with it. And so, thankfully everyone has been super supportive about my coming out process, at least the people I've talked to recently.
Good.
I've only really had one person who kind of looked at me crazy. My mother-in-law, in fact. She was like, what?
Your mother-in-law?
Yes. My sister-in-law dragged me out of the closet in front of her.
Oh no.
And she was like, oh my God, I thought you knew. And I was like, I thought she remembered too. Apparently she didn't.
She didn't.
I have a hydroponic garden. It's dying because I'm terrible. Apparently I have a black thumb. Um, anyway, I have a hydroponic garden that I was trying to set up to be a witchy garden and grow some things. And my sister-in-law came over and she was like, "Oh yeah, this is her witch's garden. Yeah, mom, she's a witch, remember? Da 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 da." And I was like, "You did what? You did." And she kind of just looked at me and she goes, "You better not be." And I went, "Oh God, here we go.
Oh my God.
This
You're
was
like,
just
oh
for
yeah.
dinner. This was not the plan at all. They were coming over
Oh my God.
dinner." And then she kind of brushed it off, made a little joke, and she was like, "Oh, you're only a witch because you saw Sabrina or what the Sabrina on Netflix. I don't know if anybody's seen it.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's good. I told her to watch it. She didn't like it. Surprise.
I don't like the whole devil aspect of it.
I
I
don't
mean, I
either.
really don't like the whole Satan aspect
No.
of all of that. And I really like if you continue watching it, you'll see what happens. And I'm like, hmm.
Mhm.
And I guess it ended, and I'm not sure I like the way it ended.
I
And I'm
don't.
just like, okay, I'm getting to a point where it's like I put all of that time and energy into Game of Thrones, and then they
Yes.
pissed me off. And then now Sabrina has pissed me off.
Yeah.
And now I'm watching something called Shadow and Bone. It is fantastic.
Have you read the book?
No, but you know what? I bought these books for my daughter Amber back when she was a teenager. I got her like the box set, and I had
Uh-huh.
read the description, and I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
maybe she wanted to read some books, but she wasn't sure, and she wanted a little bit of fantasy. And I gave it to her for her birthday. She never did anything with them. I think she gave them away. And then I'm like, why does that like just the way it's written, the script
Yes.
looks familiar. I'm like, I know I've seen it somewhere. And then sure enough, sure enough.
Yes.
So if you haven't watched Shadow and Bone,
Do
get
it.
up on that because it's so good. It's kind of a little Game of Thronesy. It's kind
Yes.
of a little like how else would you describe it? Um,
Game of Thronesy and shoot, there's something like tingling back here, and I can't remember the name of it. um,
it feels a little Witches of Eastwick,
a
a
little.
little like I mean, there's definitely some
It also feels
very
just a little Shadow Hunters, like just a
oh,
smidge.
Shadowhunters. That's a good one. And it feels a little like what do you call it? Dang it. You know, when they dress up kind of like Victorian like and it's sci-fi-ish too. Help me.
Oh,
Um, you know
oh,
what I'm talking steampunk. It's a little
yes,
steampunky.
it
Yeah,
is. It is.
yeah, it's good. It's
It is.
good.
I will say though, the book is different as it always is.
Always will. Hmm.
They focus. So you've seen the show. They focused a lot more on that side story that we're like coming to. I don't want to spoil it for people, but like
I
not
have
the
one more
main
episode. I
girl.
have one more episode and not
Okay. So
yeah.
everything ends up relatively panning out the way it does in the book. However, in the show, to include interest, like with the multiple plot lines and everything, they have that whole other group of people on the other side of the fold and everything, and their
Mhm.
journey too. They don't do any of that in
They
the
don't
book.
do any of that.
No,
Really? Okay.
no,
And I
it's
was
all
so
about the
bummed
girl.
about the gal who does the makeup for her and all that other stuff. So I just watched that, and I'm not
Mhm.
going to give any like
No.
spoilers away, but I was just like, oh
Mhm.
no,
That
like
did happen though. They kept that. They kept that.
oh,
They
I was
kept
just like,
that.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really good one. It's a really good one. I hope they come out with it. I know that Noah had turned us all on to Cursed there for a while, so
Mm.
it kind of feels a little bit like that. And
Okay.
then I'm waiting for I think when is The Witcher coming back? Hello, Witcher, I need my Henry. Where
Uh,
is Henry?
if I remember correctly, their filming got postponed due
Because he
to
hurt himself, the poor
yes,
baby.
yeah.
I was willing to go and help him in any way. I was
I
thinking,
think you about half the women in the country
I know.
were
Me, Wendy was just like she follows him, and we trade like little messages. And I'm like, did you see how Henry's doing today? He's feeling better. I'm so glad.
I think it's hilarious how as Superman we were all kind of like, okay, and then Witcher pops up and we're like, drool running
Drool.
down the side of your face. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's also in Enola Adams, which or Enola Holmes.
Mm.
So he is Sherlock. He's Sherlock Holmes, and Enola is the girl who is 7, or is it 7 or 11? I can't remember. 11. She's
Mhm.
11 in Stranger Things. She plays Sherlock Holmes' sister,
Oh,
and Helena Bottom Carter is
yes.
their mom. It
We
is fantastic. It is a movie, and they're going to do a sequel. So I just saw that, and I'm like, yes,
I'm
bring
gonna
it.
have to watch that.
Oh,
Absolutely.
it's so good. Especially, it's a good woman empowerment because she doesn't want to dress like a. She says, "Well, I have to be a lady." She's like, she doesn't want to. It's too
Yes.
cute. Too cute. It's a
Absolutely.
good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, but
Absolutely.
we'll talk pop culture all day long. That's maybe what I should not do. Truth talk. I should do pop culture talk.
I was about to say we just keep getting we just keep kind of falling down rabbit holes again. We
And then we could
start
talk
off with
about Alice in Wonderland.
yeah, pretty much. We're just popping through in a whole different world. Oh, that's
Mhm.
so funny.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay,
god.
so you put everything in a box, and which I can relate to
Yeah.
because I still probably, I think I only have 30% of my witchy stuff out. Stuff
Mhm.
is still in storage. I don't know where like my curtains are. I don't know where certain things are. My Aphrodite altar has not gone up at
Oh
all because I
gosh.
can't find her. I don't know where she is.
Oh
Sekhmet
goodness.
came out of the box and Bear wasn't ready to like put her out, and she like zapped him. It was really kind of funny because he's like he was putting her back in the box because he didn't know where to put her, and she's like, "No, motherfucker, you better let me out now." And he's like, "Oh my god." He's like, I don't know where to put her. He's like, "Babe, I don't know. I don't know.
We gotta find a place.
Just do
We
it.
got
Just do it. What feels right. What feels right."
oh my gosh, that's great. See, I don't actually work with any deities. So I felt like there was no that was hmm, I don't want to say that was the reason there was no pull, but there wasn't as much of a pull. Like I didn't,
Mhm.
have that sort of practice to go that I needed to get reset up before I pissed anybody off. Um I don't really like I don't work with spirits. I want to get into ancestor work and all of that, but there was at the you know, at the time and now too, there just wasn't anything to I have got to open this. I've got to get this
Mhm.
done. And then I was just in a negative headspace and I just never could get myself out of the negative headspace where you I don't want to put all this up when I'm feeling like bleh,
You get in a funk. You get in a funk, and at some
yeah.
point, it's like when you first start your path, a lot of it can be extremely overwhelming. A lot
Oh,
of it, and
100.
I was dedicating 2 days a week of like 4 hours a day, so 8 hours a week of just researching
Goodness.
stuff that was interesting to me. And
Mhm.
then that led me to something else that was interesting to me. And
Okay.
then that led me to kind of like a scratch or a knock at the door from a deity. And
Right.
then I learned that you don't worship the deity, you work with the deity. It is like
Absolutely.
a contract, a relationship. You put an
Absolutely.
offering because you're honoring them, not because
Right.
you're worshiping them.
Yes.
And then another one, and then another one. And I've had them come and go. And then I've had
Right.
some that I'm like, nope, I'm not your girl. I'm not the one.
Not a nice try.
I'm not the one.
Knock on wood.
I'm not
Oh.
down to do that work.
So, to an extent, like, I finally my sister is actually who pulled me out of the headspace, as funny as it is.
Okay.
She went through some shit of her own,
Mhm.
and she decided to separate from her husband, and they had some,
Yeah.
shit going on, and she came down and she was like, "I need to do something," and I was like, "Bet." And that is what I literally after we would talk on the phone for hours and I would literally be like unpacking stuff and trying to put stuff where it
Aw.
was because we were putting this together. And I'm so happy because like she was in so much of a better headspace after that. I was in a completely better headspace that I found a besom in New Orleans. I like it literally like jumped off the shelf at me. I was like, "Oh, okay, apparently that
Mhm.
one's mine." Okay.
That's mine. Yeah.
um and we oh gosh, we got back and we were up for hours in here just letting go of shit, and it was so cathartic for me as well because
Mhm.
yeah, I set stuff up and everything and
Mhm.
protections up and everything, but at the same time like I felt like I hadn't settled in the house spiritually yet, and for me that was kind of the turning point moment where I was like, thank God, like it's
Gotcha.
here, you know, she gave me the opportunity. That was as much for me as it was for her, and I never realized it was. And so now I'm kind of back in that new baby witchy. Oh my God, so much to research, going back through some of the books I never even touched. I'm trying to teach myself tarot and having my deck roast the shit out of me every other day. Or 3 weeks later when I forget to touch it because I've got papers due, and then I pull a card and it's like, hello. I
Ah,
had, oh my God, I had one reading. I was trying to get used to learning the cards, and I pulled, a before bed card kind of a thing. And I keep a little tarot journal to where I can start
mhm.
a study habit to start writing definitions down, but also like write my vibes down and stuff. And literally I was like, what do I need for this week? And I knew I had a big thing coming up that I was avoiding. It literally was like, do the thing. You need to do the educational thing. You need to do that
Yeah.
and get off of this. And I was like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That face that you just made. I feel that face. I feel that face. That, I mean, and you know what? The universe is going to smack you upside the head when you need it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not kind about it.
No,
It's just not kind
not in
about
the
it.
least.
But
Not
but
in
it
the least.
pushes you. It does. It pushes you, and you grow
Yeah.
each time you listen. Each time
Yeah.
you give in and you listen, you
Yes.
grow.
Absolutely. So I see a little question here. It said, what tarot decks do I use? I actually have a traditional Rider-Waite deck, and I bought a couple of other decks first. And whenever I was like trying to use them,
Mhm.
and the imagery was kind of off, and because you kind of learn the meanings from the imagery and stuff. And so I went and found a traditional Rider-Waite, like traditional imagery, traditional everything. You can find it for like $10. Be done with it.
Yeah.
And that's the one that I have. It's actually right here. Keep in a Crown Royal bag.
Mhm. Those are good. Those are good bags for that.
And I
Uh-huh.
keep it by my bed, and whenever it's like, hey, you need to pull me. I haven't been lately because we have dealing with finals and everything, but I do have a couple of other ones though, but they're chilling. They're not one to be used right now. So maybe once I get a little bit better using them with meanings and stuff, I'll start opening up some of the other ones I have.
I actually have so many tarot decks. I have quite a few. I probably am
Mhm.
up to probably close to like 40.
Mhm.
I don't read tarot. I don't read I do not read tarot, but
Yes.
Bear is like interested, and we both are art junkies. We're
Yeah.
artists ourselves, and so we love the art. And I
Yes.
love to just sort of like play with them or whatever. And for me, my mediumship comes out if
Mhm.
some reading is happening.
Mhm.
So I don't need it
Mhm.
to have the session, but I'm
Right.
learning lately that I have to like, especially with new people, like I've got a ghost in my ear and this person's talking to me in my face, and then I can hear something else that's happening at the other table, and there's somebody else sitting with them, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
mm-hmm,
Mhm.
uh-huh,
Mhm.
mm-hmm. Like you're gonna see me, like, I don't, did you see it happen at meet and greet? Because it was happening at meet and greet for me a
Right.
lot. It happens a lot. And if you see me, I am just like looking
So-
like I'm spacing out, or I'm like I'm trying to concentrate really hard on what the person's trying to say, because I'm just like in the background, I'm like, shut up, shut up, shut up. I'm not here for you, dude.
I'm
Like,
not. It's not you. I'm not here for you.
yeah,
Oh god, kind of like when your computer's open, you have too many tabs running at the same time, and so it just
yeah,
shuts down,
yeah.
and
All of a
nothing's
sudden my eyes go like what is going on?
yes,
Yeah. So then I have to have a
absolutely,
conversation with whoever's in my ear, like, you got to go,
absolutely.
or I had, okay. So I met this new couple,
Mhm,
Jen and Javi. Great couple. I think they're recently married. They're still newlyweds, right? And so
mhm,
Bear and I had met up with them, and there was something attached to Javi
mhm.
that was coming in loud and strong, pretending to be Jen's past father who passed away.
Oh god.
It was nasty. It was gross.
Oof.
And Bear and I are over here like this. And all of a sudden, I just looked at Javi and I'm just like, you got to get rid of Philip. And she's just like, she's like, and then,
What?
so then I'm like turning back to Jen because Jen didn't hear what I had said. And then, so now these people, I just met them. They now think I'm a freak. But luckily not so much so because next week we're meeting up again to have more McMenamins fun. Anyhow, but I like, Javi just looked at me and she pulled me to the side. She's just like, so you knew its name. She's like, I know you're legit. And I'm like, well, what happens then after that is that I tap into it and I'll go there and then I'll get incredibly nauseous. I'll get real sick. It is like a big energy drain because I wasn't prepared for it and I didn't do any of the work that I needed to do, before I did that. So when you are trying to explore that and when you're working with ancestors, you're going to find those ancestors that are going to kind of hold those walls for you and protect you because there are a lot of kind of trickstery type spirits out there that will tell you one thing and present themselves like this, like, and they don't want to be kicked out. So they'll come like a child. They'll come like somebody you loved. I mean, they are conniving. They're conniving, and their whole sense is to drain you out. I mean, really.
I think, honestly, that's one of the main reasons I have not gotten into anything outside of myself. If that makes any sense. Like,
no, it's tough.
I have not wanted to commit because I know, like, I'm in a safe little bubble right here. I know what I'm not. I don't know what I'm doing, but like I'm comfortable here. And then that for me is like so completely out of my realm of comfort that I'm so afraid I'm gonna fuck something up and then have to call somebody and be like, please help me. I don't know what the hell I did, but I'm screwed.
I just blocked somebody real quick.
I appreciate that because I was seeing it and I was about to comment and get real nasty.
I was blocking. I just saw it and I'm just like, and we're blocking. So if there are any wrenches in the chat, you guys are welcome to do that as well.
Yes. I'm sure you saw who it was because I was about this close.
I have no idea who that person was. I don't know. We went from dog talking to something else. I mean, it's difficult sometimes when we're having our chat. We need, that person in front of us is the most important person. We're having our conversation, and it's difficult to follow along. But then it's like 4 in a row. I was like, what's going on here? It's kind of crazy. I see Lisa Pie. Absolutely.
Yes. I'm an Aries sun. I've had to do a lot of shit to rein that in. A lot of personal shadow work to rein that in. And not be that be, we all know that one. I used to be that one before this. It's taken me a long time to get to a point where I'm like, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I'm gonna. Because I'm
still learning. I'm not there yet. I'm still learning. I'm just not there yet. I am more direct. Maybe I'm calmer, but I'm really direct to a point and can be intense where people are just like, I don't know about her. It's like, well, okay, you don't know about me then.
When it gets released, I don't sugarcoat shit. And
I don't either.
The recon I have to do afterwards where I'm like, I'm sorry for what I said when I was
so sorry. I'm so sorry for, I like what I saw a meme that says, I'm so sorry what my face did when you were telling me your story. I can't control the face. Okay, so work is all Zoom meetings all the time. So they've noticed that Raven has turned off her camera. I am just like over here. I'm like, how many freaking times are we going to say this? Are we going to go here again? Like, oh my God, people, this was in an email line. I'm like, I've been on this call for 2 hours.
I was really thankful for the masks with COVID, not the pandemic itself, but for the masks specifically, because I can at least relatively control one part of my face. But like, a patient comes in and the owner's like, oh, it's just a little bite wound and it's a big old cat abscess and it's oozing nastiness. And my face instantly is like, how long has it been like that? You said what now?
You did what? Yeah.
What? And so I can kind of hide it and be like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, you just look with your eyes. And it is very handy when you're out in public and you really want to talk shit about somebody with your husband, right? Okay, yeah. So it's very convenient for that because you can just like saddle up to your husband. And you're like, you see this lady over here with the blue shirt, they can't see your. I'm just like, so now we're gonna, as all of us vaccinated don't have to wear masks anymore. I'm thinking about keep in mind it might be safe for the public.
it's
I'm
probably
thinking.
safer for me because I'm gonna get hit one day. I know it. I know it. And it's really bad because like my two sisters on my dad's side of the family, which is one of the ones I brought down to my we did the whole pulled me back out of my shit. They all three of us together, we're gonna get smoked one day in a bar because we are those hoes that like what? What? You can't get an Aquarius, a Sagittarius, and an Aries together without some shit going down. And it's bad. Oh God, it's bad.
I love it so. It is not a secret that I'm a Virgo, so I'm very organized. Meanie is really what I am because I'm a double Scorpio. So I present. I'm just a real organized bitch. And I can be. I really do. I do love people. This pandemic is like checking every box and
oh gosh.
There's only so much one can take. I know, I'm crying too. Laughter. Oh my God. We're a group. We're a group. Just wait till we're all in New Orleans, people. It's not safe. It's not safe.
It won't be at all.
No,
not at all.
So your family dynamic, you've got a sister that's kind of like on board with you. You have a mother-in-law who's like, what? Your mom is like, whatever. And your husband is like, okay.
He didn't, I'm gonna be honest, he tried to be very supportive of me. Because we've been together 8 years. So he was with me through all of this. He was with me when I was Catholic. He was with me when I didn't know what the hell I was. He was with me whenever I was like, what is this? What is this? And he kind of, he was with me in the very early days of watching witchy videos. And he's like looking over my shoulder because he's a video gamer. So, he's doing this, but he's like, what are you listening to? What are you listening to? And of course, you fall down Tequila's page and she's talking about chicken feet and hexes and this and that. And he's like, I don't know what the fuck you're watching, but I'm gonna need you to stop. And so then we had to I mean, she does. And you can like one of those, you just get sucked in and you're like, more, I need more. Yeah. What is this? What?
Especially with the Lady Grave Dancer videos, you're like, tobacco water? I've never thought about tobacco fire water? Now there's an amethyst oil? What's my whole world? And my brain just got, I'm just like, I must try amethyst. Oh, I have an amethyst and I have oil. All of a sudden,
honestly, and it was funny to me because like at the time, even now, I would probably never hex someone, honestly. That's just not my cup of tea. And I know I opened my mouth too much that it was probably partially my fault as well. So I'm not having any of my shit come back on myself. I know better. I know better.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time he was like, you're not planning to do that to people, huh? I'm like, I'm just watching. What do you mean? And so we kind of we had to have a little moment where I was like, I don't know. I don't know if this is for me, but I kind of want it to be for me. And he was like, how is this going to work, Tiffany? I keep like calling myself out.
It's like, okay. I don't think anybody's going to find you on my channel. You're okay. You're okay.
It's fine. It's more for, career change and whatnot. And all of that goes with,
and your name is new. And I tried to name you, like, what did I try to name you? Something fancy pants. You didn't go for that. And then there was something, I was just joking with you. I'd be like,
He
no,
was throwing
no,
out all kinds of stuff, and I was like, oh no. I think he
no.
came up with like fire mystic at one point. I'm like, I ain't all that in a bag of chips. We need to pick something else.
Like
I don't
something
want people
wild,
thinking I
something
know what the
wild.
hell I'm talking about. I'm not. I represent the lazy bitches who sometimes would rather eat potato chips on the couch than whip out the shit she needs to be doing in their space, honestly.
Magical bag of chips.
Imagine if they're salty, I'm cleansing myself, right?
I love it. I love it. Yes. No, as soon as somebody says I need a witchy name, I just start throwing everything at them and just to mess with them. So really that's what I was doing. I was just
It's
messing with you because you have to
fine.
figure it out. You either get
Absolutely.
named by something that you like really love
Hmm.
or you choose it yourself. Like you've got to figure it out. It's a thing.
And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not totally attached to this one, but it kind of was like we have a deadline. Um, so I've been toying around with the idea of making a YouTube channel. It would be more like vlogs and hot mess express ness that is this. And just following along, not necessarily tutorials or anything, but more like a diary of a baby witch kind of vibes.
Mhm.
Um,
You should go back to the beginning of my channel. Hit those videos in like reverse from oldest to newest, and you're gonna see me on there going like this. I don't know what I'm doing. Like it's pitiful. It's really pitiful. And we all go through
honestly,
it. We all go through it. Now I just get on there and I'm like, I ain't put makeup on. I don't give a crap
yeah,
anymore. I'm just who I am. I
you're
am just who I am. I got good days, I got bad days. There's magical days. Some days I'm like over the top. Maybe I'm an emotional roller coaster. I
yes,
actually like my emotions. I'm learning to like really be in them and love them because sometimes people, okay, so we live in a society where I feel you want to be perfect. Like everybody's got to be perfect. You got to say the right thing. You got to, do the right thing. There's just so much tension and so much pressure to be this for
hmm
everybody. And we
hmm
just can't. And that's why
no,
we're
right,
all losing our goddamn minds. We're losing our minds because we're
yes,
not able to be who we need to be. And
absolutely,
so you just is a process of trial and error. If you are not interested in spiritual work, then don't do it.
yeah,
Don't mess around with boards or pendulums or any of that stuff right now. Start talking to those in your family that have passed on that you had good relationships with. Start
hmm
there if you want to do anything because you got to build that relationship
right.
before you can really and I say before you can let people are going to do what they want to do. I would
Before you
advise
should,
what was that?
before you should, you need
Before
to
you
have
should
your own protective bubble.
you should have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we have some haunted furniture and her name is Denise. And yeah, I know. You're like, what? Yes. Okay. I have haunted furniture. And right now she's downstairs. In the other house, she was like right in the front or whatever. But she sometimes comes out and does her thing. And when there are passerby spirity,
Hmm.
curiosities, she chases them off. Like
Oh,
we have a contract with her. She's kind of like my spiritual guard dog in some ways, and she really loves Bear. Really loves Bear. She's very attached to him. And
okay.
then I've got my grandmother and my great aunt who was like a mom to me. And those two, they hold the walls. And my grandmother is still commenting on my cooking. She's like, you're using too much salt. You're doing that, 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 that. I'm like, I know. Like, I mean, this is my life. My life.
Oh gosh, that's really funny actually. That's so funny. I have one in particular I would probably reach out to once I decide to start. I think my life kind of calms down a little bit, I'll get a little bit more into that because it is more in depth, a little bit more like I do have to kind of pay attention a little bit more and put a little bit more effort into it, not just, I don't feel like it right now.
Just start small. Just start small. Your witchy mother is telling you start small. So
Okay.
even though you put everything away and you say that you haven't done anything for a year and a half, you have.
Mhm.
You're still researching. You're still looking at things. You're still
Absolutely.
interested in or whatever. And not a witch doesn't have to like ritual every day. Like you have 4 rituals. There's no stamp card. You're not going to get a free spell kit when you do 10 in a week. Like it's not a thing.
Yeah.
You do what feels natural to you. If it's a full moon, you know what? Half the time I'm not feeling good because I'm affected by the damn full moon. And I'm just like hiding in my house.
Yes.
I put my crystals out the day before because I know it's coming. And then I'm just like, Netflix.
Right. Yeah.
Shadow and Bone.
Yeah. I went through Shadow and Bone so fast, actually. It was ridiculous. It was like, done weekend. All right, what's next? Just because it was good.
We digress.
Oh, gosh. No, shoot, I had something I was going to say. Damn it. I had something I was going to say that was relevant to all of that.
It's because I interrupted you. I do it all the time. I apologize.
It's fine.
The mouth.
You. It's fine.
Oh,
damn it. I'm literally having this moment where I was like, I was going to go off on a whole tangent. Oh, well, hell.
Lisa says that would be cool, though. Laugh out loud. I'll take the stamp card. Okay, I'll create one. I'll create one, and then you guys can stamp it. I'll give it out as my free gift in my next sale.
I'm glad she said that because that's what I was gonna say something about. Nobody tells you at the beginning to, like, it's not about how many spells you do, and midnight moonrise. I wish I had somebody to tell me this back in my baby witch days. No, there's nobody, to be like, slow the hell down. You don't have to consume 5 books in a weekend because you just have to do this thing. Like you don't have to. And it's taken me 5 years now and a big break to be like, it's what I can do is fine. Your practice is your practice. It's fine. Your practice is a roller coaster. Some days you're going to be zooming past it and you're going to take big leaps and bounds. And then other times you're just kind of on the kiddie ride, just kind of coasting. You're slowing down. And I just like, and because it's such a path. I think I had mentioned this to you before we started, like everybody who's self-taught kind of has that period where they're like, I'm Wiccan. Because that's what the information is. Whenever you first start looking, you're like, I'm Wiccan. That's what it is. And then the more you get going into it, you're like, I don't what? Not hating on Wiccan. Yeah. Let me back up.
No, it's true. No, I get you completely on this. I get you because Wiccan is kind of like the gateway drug to witchcraft. It kind of is. I mean, really, truly, and I look at some of my other friends and I see what they're doing and it's their path. It's their choice.
Absolutely.
It's their life. You go for it if that's what you feel comfortable with. Absolutely. For me, they're like, well, we're getting ready for ritual. So you can't eat any meat because that's going to be a thing. And it's going to like, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, well, I believe the opposite. I believe the absolute opposite, and then there's some that's like, you should not be drunk when you're doing any type of witchcraft. Let me tell you that I have had the best visions, journal entries, all of these other stuff. There's even a journal that says, write this down when you're high, because there is stuff that comes out that we suppress a lot, and you will feel like, especially for me, I am an overthinker and I'm a little uptight and it takes me a little bit. And if I can just drop those walls and not feel as stressed, I am a little bit freer to be authentically me. So I'll go there. I'll go there. Now, of course, I'm not going to get like super wasted or anything, but sometimes feeling a little buzz is helpful. Now, if you have a drinking problem, don't do that.
No.
Find something else.
Right.
Find something else. But yeah, sometimes I'm like, oh, Wiccan. Oh, yeah, Wiccan.
I completely agree. So but this is terrible. We had a big party. I say big party. It ended up just being 2 other couples from college for us. And we indulged like we were in college. And I literally just looked at one of them. One couple already knew, but I literally just looked at the other one, trashed. And I was like, hey, guess what? I'm a witch. And they were like, what? And I was like, I'm going to go get my tarot cards. And I was doing drunk readings for people in the middle of my kitchen table and like writing them down. I found the journal page later the next day and I was like, First of all, I'm not sure if I can read this. Second of all, I have never one of them in particular. They've been together a long time. The girl is like, "Where's my ring at, homie?" That's what the reading was about. I kind of figured it was where it was coming from. That one was like, spot the fuck on, like
Mhm,
everything. And she was like, yeah,
mhm,
you're
mhm,
vibing
mhm.
with me. And I was like, tell me if it's not. And she said, no, it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
And I was
I
like,
mean that's the thing, and it does happen. It doesn't happen for everybody that way. It does not happen
mhm,
for everybody. And the caveat I'm going to throw in there is that yes, there are different people. We are all different people. We all have different energy. We have all different likes. We have all
mhm,
different dislikes, shapes,
mhm.
sizes, colors,
Yes,
all this other stuff. You're going to find a path. If
yes,
there's how many different versions of Christianity, there's going to
yes.
be that many of paganism. You're
Oh,
somewhere
absolutely.
under that umbrella. You're
Yes.
still part of the team. We're still
Mhm.
on the same thing or whatever. You can, I
Right.
mean, I get a lot of heat for being an eclectic or an intuitive witch because they're like, oh, you just can't make up your mind. It was the
Oh,
same thing in the 90s when I said I was bi. They're like, oh, you're just greedy.
oh,
Like I'm like, okay.
no.
So then now I'm not allowed to be this. And so I
Right.
put myself back in the closet for that for a long
Mhm.
time. And
Right.
it's like when you start to realize, you're like, no, you know what? I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
I'm maybe going to incorporate some bodily fluids in some stuff that I'm going to do.
Right.
I'm going to be using beeswax candles or soy wax candles
Mhm.
because those seem to work better for me. And I'm
Right.
going to use garlic for this and not that. And
Right.
anybody who is in a book or, well, anybody who is in your life or on YouTube that's telling you you should not da 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 and you have to use this because you're not doing it right, you
Mhm.
tell them to go fuck themselves because honestly and truly they've got their path down. They have
Yes.
nothing to do with your path. So you
Absolutely.
do you. And if that's Wiccan and that's what you're down for, then go for it. And you like Madam Adam says, fuck it up. Do
I
it.
love him
I love
so
him too. He makes
much.
me laugh. He makes me laugh. And boy, he comes with the realness. And I'm just like, yeah,
I
you're not wrong.
I am going to make something to hang up in my space that's inhale the good shit, exhale the bullshit. That is my favorite
Yep.
thing I've ever heard.
I need to get some merch from him. I need to get some merch from
Yes.
him. I
Yes.
definitely want the shirt that says fuck it up. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Absolutely. No, I
For
completely
sure.
agree. Completely agree.
All right, we've gone down many tangents.
Yes.
We've been talking for a while. So continue. Continue. I will shut up. I will go like
I
this.
don't even remember where it was at. Oh gosh.
We were talking about family. We were talking about you going back to teaching, so that's a
Yes.
thing.
Oh,
And you've put everything away for a while, and you're just sort of like starting to come out because your sister sort of came out, and now
yes.
you're sort of learning about that whole dynamic
Yes.
and what that really means to you now in this space in this time.
So in doing that, I kind of realized, I do have a lot of shit that I need to work through. I mentioned doing shadow work with myself with, my Aries sun sign that's hot-headed and a mess, and she comes through often and I have to rein her in, but like I have a lot of shit like uh we're gonna get real deep here for a second. My dad right now, my parents have always been divorced since I was in diapers and didn't have the best relationship with my dad. He was kind of like a when it was convenient for him kind of dad. And
Okay.
starting with starting with my graduation from undergrad round 1, so gosh, that was 2016. He told me that he was not coming because I didn't invite my stepmother and I only had 7 tickets, and there was this whole big fight and all this
Oh boy.
bullshit. Anyway, I found out later because he and that side of my other 2 sisters from are all from like north Louisiana, so I didn't see him too much. I found out later he was heavily using pain pills,
Oh,
and
okay.
then it spiraled into meth, and that was
Oh
right
boy.
at the yes, that was right at the peak of when that argument happened. He probably was not sober when he said the things he said, and
Probably. Yeah.
it kind of, that moment for me was the moment I kind of got yanked out of my childhood with him. Because with him, it was always, to an extent, like, still want to please my dad, still want to be there, still want to him to be around, even though he had fucked me over, more times than I cared to count. And my mom was so good about not bringing that shit in whenever I
Hmm.
was growing up. She
Hmm.
never bad talked him until I was old enough to figure it out for myself. She never, she was not that parent that, you got this one talking in the kid's ear and you've got this one talking in the kid's
Yeah.
ear and you don't know what to do. She never was until I was relatively grown enough and mature enough to start making my own decisions.
Hmm.
And to an extent, I also grew up an only child because it was just the two of us. So I do have
Oh,
four half sisters, but it's taken my adult life to get close to them. It was
gotcha.
just the two of us growing up. And so I had that kind of dynamic as well.
Hmm.
Um, and it took that moment for me to finally be like, oh, I get it now. I see it
Uh,
now. All right. All right, I got
hmm.
you, homie. He damn near ruined my older sister's baby shower about, that was in May. Baby shower was in December of that same year. Hadn't talked to him since then. I said I was going to be cordial. He came in and started acting like a child, probably high, of course. And
Oh
I
no.
I got up and removed myself from the situation, and he went outside and was yelling and cussing and carrying on and doing all this, and everybody was like, "Well, I just need you to make up with him," and I was like, no,
No. No.
no." I deserve an apology, not for not being at my graduation, but for the bullshit ass conversation that led me to this and all the other stuff that kind of accumulated.
Yeah.
So I get bits and pieces of information. Oh, gosh, that was, as funny as that is, that was right when my witchy path started. Was right in the middle of all of that. Because I
Oh,
graduated college and then, oh, wow. Looking back at that, I
wow.
guess one thing left for one thing to step in. Um,
Hmm.
funny how life works out like that. You get what you need when you need it.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm kind of coming to the realization that I need to start dealing with that and dealing with my I just want to please him trap, and I'm still pissed at him. I'm still so pissed at him. My older sister has 4 kids, and so we both have kind of cut him off. He's still using heavily. We've been told by other family, um he's not getting any better. You just need to let him back in and forgive him and take him the way he is. And I said, that's bullshit. I am not enabling him to keep doing what he's doing. I've seen him in a couple of different events. I saw him at my uncle's wedding, and he came up and hugged me, and that was right after I got married. I did not invite him to my wedding. My mom walked me down the aisle, and my
Oh,
grandfather got my first dance. And
oh,
my maternal grandfather, my paternal grandfather, has long since been gone. Um, and it was a really special moment. And
yeah.
some who told me, somebody told me he saw my wedding video and he started crying, and I was like,
You're like, and I don't care.
I can't care. But I realized, kind of being pulled back into this, that I have a lot of shit that I need to work through with that. And I kind of don't know where to start.
Well, you're not alone. You're not alone. I have just recently had to divorce my dad for a similar situation.
Mhm.
He's just very, I mean, okay, ooh, light, look at that. I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna be better with stuff. I'm gonna change it a little bit. Okay, ooh, I'm glowy orange. Okay, that's better. Um, so I have had to recently do this with my pop. I love him, and I've had to say, look, I love you, and we're all good, and everything's going to be fine, that type of thing. But I can't be an active member of your life,
Right.
and I can't be on Facebook the way you want me to be when you're bashing, you
Yeah.
know. your grandkids and their lifestyle, my lifestyle, all this other stuff. There
Mhm.
is a difference of opinion, yes. And then there's a difference of political opinion as well. But these are not
Mm,
political issues. These are human
no,
rights issues.
right.
And we all need to be treated with respect. And this is not going to work. And hold on a second. Okay. Okay, there, baby. Oh, no, my little doodaddle is like at its last legs. Bear's been using it for crafting. So, and I'm just like, so now it's like all bent out of whack. I need to just get another one. Get another one. But it's like um, I put myself back in counseling because of some of these toxic relationships that I've had in my life and thought that I needed to continue just because I needed that blood family.
Right.
I'm like, I got to have the family. I got to have the family because I've, was a kid that was passed around and abandoned and, all these other things. And so that family means so much.
Right.
But then we're holding on to a toxic relationship that
Mhm.
isn't serving us. And those
Right.
people really aren't in their right mind to even have a relationship with you.
Yes.
And if you were important to them in the relationship, they would at least meet you halfway, and they're not. They're not.
No. And see,
And
that's
that's not okay.
I can I've got like that half of it, but I'm also fully preparing myself for the second half of him to come out, which I see it with my older sister. She has 4 kids. His
Mhm.
whole thing is like, I'm gonna guilt you into letting me see my only grandbabies. And she's like, the fuck you are.
Uh-uh.
It's not
No.
happening. My husband and I are trying, and I'm fully expecting to, when it does eventually happen, to get a call or to get, he's going to find out from somebody. I've got
You
family
will
on
find out.
Facebook,
Yeah.
he's going to find out. I'm not going to reach out. Cause I've told him several times, I would be open to discussing things with you, but you're going to reach out to me. You
Mhm.
know, you're
Mhm.
going to get this started. So I know you're serious and not just saying things because you see me at a family event kind of a
Right.
thing. You didn't
Right.
expect to see me and you're getting emotional kind of a thing. I've told him several times I would be opening to starting to talk through bullshit. Um,
Mhm.
and I just know it's coming whenever I can possibly, another little backstory. My husband and I have been trying for about 18 months now. It's not going super hot. I actually made an appointment with a specialist in uh when was that? No, not October, August. They book out super far in advance. Good Lord.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They
They
do. Really do.
do. Um, but just to kind of try to explore that in a little more depth because we're both ready for that. But I just know that inevitably when that happens, I'm gonna have to deal with all of that resurfacing. So I
Yeah.
kind of want to get a jump on it. If that makes any sense
Yeah.
before it goes there. And that in conjunction with, frustrations with trying and things not moving the way I want them to, it's
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you should know that I do have a pregnancy altar right now. You are one of 4 witchy friends that are trying right now. So I go and I feed that altar all the time. And you have been on that altar for about 12 months. You've been on that altar for about 12 months.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. I did not know that.
Yeah.
You helped me with the candle and everything. I actually still have the jar up there. I haven't broken it down yet. Probably should.
I was just hearing Lady Grave Dancer saying that graveyard dirt could also be for fertility. I was watching one of her newest videos and I'm like, really? Like, wow, like she's got so many uses for graveyard dirt. I just don't work with graveyards.
No,
I just
I
don't.
don't either.
I'm
I
just a
I don't
little
have the
afraid.
spirit, so I don't,
Exactly.
I don't mess with don't
Mm-mm,
mess with that.
mm-mm.
Um, I don't. Oh wow,
Now
really?
eggshells, yes, eggshells, lots of
Yeah.
eggshells.
Um,
Eggshells good. Aventurine good.
yes,
Green good.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I also love Unakite. And I was doing a lot of reading that Unakite is really good for fertility as well. So she normally just chills in my bra. I
Yep.
had a little crystal cage necklace, but it stuck out above my scrubs. And some of the docs at work were like, why you got rocks on your neck? So I had to go back to like putting things down my bra because I was like, I don't want to have this conversation. I'm not mentally ready to have this conversation with you. I
I
can't.
once had packed my bra with all kinds of stuff because I was in a toxic work environment in Texas, and I went to give somebody a hug, and they were there. They come back and they're like,
What?
like, what's wrong with your boobs?
Yeah, I have to be careful. I have to kind of pick and choose. Like I do, I'm large chested. There's a lot of area in here, but I also pick up and restrain dogs, and it's very physical. And
yes.
I clacked at work one day
Uh-huh.
because the rocks, like I had to like hug something really hard, or and because it was getting away from me or whatever, and you could hear the rocks like banging together in my bra, and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna explain this one.
I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to explain it. It's true. I got to a point where I would just put him like in a little like muslin bag and then like stick it up in there. Like I would have to, especially like as you get older, they get a little less perky, right? Okay, so that is helpful for grip. That is all helpful for a little bit of grip.
Oh,
TMI?
no, not at all. Oh gosh. I will say I found a little pocket inside of my scrub pockets. So I have pockets everywhere, and there's a pocket inside a pocket. And I was so happy to find the pocket inside the pocket because it won't get mixed up with my pins, and I won't have to like pull a rock out of my pocket when I'm looking for my chapstick. I can just put it in that specific little pocket because, like I said, Deep South, I'm not there yet. I am not. We do not talk about it. I don't bring up politics. Yep. And I keep on going. I don't I'll bring out none of that. I've slipped up a couple of times and been like we were about to, it was like the day before a full moon, and I was looking at the schedule already, and I was like, oh hell no, I'm gonna have to bring some grounding crystals up here, some cleansing crystals up here. And my coworker turned around and she was like, what did you just say? And I was like, what are you talking about? What's
crystals?
I don't know. She said crystals. I'm like, yeah, I like rocks. And I just abort mission. Let me walk away. That was not.
Well, I also think that there is a big correlation between, or like kind of like a parallel between Catholicism and witchcraft, with all of the deities and then all of the saints and all the rituals and whole the incense and candles. I'm like, come on, it's not that far of a stretch. And when I was in San Antonio, it like some of my Catholic Catholic people would be like, oh, so you're like a curandera. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. And like, I don't know what's the curandera. They tell me, they're like, you're like a healer. You're like, you do stuff and you help people out or whatever. And I'm like, that's what I do. Yeah.
That right there. I also thought that was so crazy. Like that's why I've had so many issues actually with Catholicism. Luckily my mom was not one of those super strict, with all the different saints and all the, what I'm saying? Like we weren't super strict with it, but I know people who were. And in that transition, I was like, what? What?
How does this work? Well, there's Christian mystics out there in a witchy path, but they're Christian, and they, that's their, Jesus and Mary, their deity. And who are we to say anything different? That's their thing. They're rocking it. I mean, Noah, my BFF, works with angels.
So
because he's so tall, he's closer to them.
He can just reach up and tap them. We're a little
reach
farther.
Up and say, hey.
Kind of like that saying, the bigger the hair, the closer to God. Down here, he's just got the height. He doesn't need the hair.
The bigger the Noah, the closer to the angel.
Yes,
that's how it's happening.
There you go. So I consider myself. I think the word is an omnist. So I think they're all real to an extent. I just don't vibe with the Christian God. Like, he's real. I know he's real. I just don't. We don't vibe. We don't vibe like that. If somebody else does, that's cool for you. Have fun with that.
Yeah, it's just not for me. It's just not for me. Yeah, exactly. And that's okay.
I kind of think, whenever we die, you kind of get to, I don't want to say pick where you get to go, but depending, you kind of get to follow your path, if you're going, yeah, if you're going to Valhalla, if you're going to, I'm having a brain fart right now of different afterlives,
Yeah.
it kind of just depends. Or if you want to be reincarnated, go for that too. I think there's so many different options out there.
I wonder if we get to choose. I guess we won't know until we're at that point.
No,
We're all going to die someday. But,
either that or we
I
just
guess we don't really know until it really, truly happens. There's all those near-death experiences that people
right.
say that they see a light and they're visited by loved ones, and whether or not they're ready to go or not ready to
Mhm.
go. I wonder if we get to pick and choose, because my husband is all Viking. He's
Right,
Viking through and
right.
through. And he loves Odin and Thor and Freya, and I mean all of that. I mean he loves it, and
Mhm.
he's like Valhalla for him for
Right,
sure. And
right,
then I'm like, I'm not so sure. I don't know if I would just stick around and just hover around
right.
and basically drive people crazy, telling them they've got too much salt in their food. It might be a thing. I don't know.
You and you can never say, whenever
Mhm.
until you get to that moment. I don't think I would hang around just because I'm could potentially be very bitter. So I would move on to something, whether that would be reincarnation or some kind of afterlife. But I think it's kind of cool, like witches who
Mhm.
work with and pagans who work with multiple deities from multiple different pantheons. I almost wonder if like they don't, their deities don't just come down and be like, claim that's mine. That one can come with me. Or, if they're,
Yeah.
playing rock, paper, scissors, if it's from multiple pantheons, you know, who's
Like
gonna go
Clash of the
where?
Titans, where
Yes,
all these little figures that are all over the wall, and
here, you
it's
can
like,
have this
nope, I'm
group
taking
right
this one.
here, but I want these guys. Like, I
Yeah,
almost wonder if they don't barter a little bit.
yeah, for like little figurines.
Yes, absolutely. Abs-
Maybe, maybe. I
oh
mean,
god.
it's going to be really interesting when we do get there. I have a feeling that I still won't be able to control my face or my mouth at that time, and it'd be like, so this is it? Do you
Yeah.
think that this could be run a little bit more efficiently? Because I've been waiting in line for a long time. And that lady at the counter has an attitude problem, and I should not have to fill out this form 3 times. I've answered this question already. Clearly you're a superpower. So why in the world would you make me, I
Oh
feel like I would go there.
yeah.
I would. I would be kicked out. Maybe that's why I'm just going to be doomed to, travel the earth. Who knows? Who
Only
knows?
you would get to an afterlife and full on be a Karen. Like, can I speak to a manager? I've rounded this corner 3 times now. Like,
Well, I've
I
been
just
trained because all these Karens come after me all the time. It's like, when do I get to Karen?
oh my gosh, so funny.
Oh
So
my gosh. Oh, okay.
oh goodness, hello.
It. Oh, release the chosen. Oh yeah, release the chosen. Oh, are
Yes,
you open to any questions?
absolutely.
You
I
are.
will. Yes, I will just let you know if it's witchy based questions. I will just do the best I can. But I still consider myself very much a beginner. And there's still a bajillion and a half things I want to research. So
No worries.
hit
No
me.
worries. Well, if you guys have any questions for either Miss Cinder or myself, please put it in bold so that we can see it,
Yes.
and we will answer it as they come on.
Yes.
Otherwise, we'll just keep chatting. We'll just keep chatting for a little bit. It's 6:02 here, so it's 8:02 for you. Are you
Yeah.
still okay on time? You got a
Oh
little
yeah.
bit?
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
making sure you're okay.
Oh yeah. No, it's fine. I'm sure my husband will release the hounds in here
Release the
eventually,
hound!
and I'll get.
Release the chosen!
Oh, that's oh my god, they're all rescues. How funny.
Yep.
Literally two of my so I have 3 large animals, the smallest one, 3 large dogs, and then I have 3 cats, and I have 2 mice because we can't say no. I have three. Every single one of them was a rescue. The smallest one is 52 pounds.
Oh,
The largest one is pushing 70, but he's still growing because he is a Great Dane puppy that came into my office with a foreign body, which is something stuck in his intestine and needed emergency surgery.
oh
And
gosh, yeah. I
I
saw those baby pictures. He's so cute. His little face is just so cute.
his
He's
little face is
adorable.
the size of my face now,
I
Raven.
know, he's so sweet.
Oh, wow. Right off
We
the
got
bat.
questions. We got
Yes.
questions. Cool.
When
Cool.
will I start my channel?
Wait.
I
I'm still thinking about it. It's been a while. I've been thinking about starting this channel.
I don't know. I've toyed around with the idea for actually for several years now. And then I, took my little break. There's a career change in my future. In my very near future, probably August. I will probably be a basket case. So I would say don't hold your breath anytime soon. And this name probably won't be it. I'll either pick something, funny or hot mess, or if I do end up finding my witchy name in the process of
Mhm.
doing some more, inner reflection, then it might be that. So who knows? Just kind of keep an eye on the
Yeah. Can I offer advice in regards to channel
Yes.
startings? Okay.
Yes.
So again, do you. So we YouTubers, what y'all don't see in the background is a whole lot of scheduling, which you have experienced with us because life
Mhm.
happens and it's difficult. So it's
Absolutely.
difficult sometimes to find the content, build the content, do the
Yeah.
edit, which
Yeah.
app am I going to use, what equipment are we going to use, and blah, blah, blah. Some people
Right.
go real complicated, some people live for it. Like Noah lives for it. He and Snow are like living their best YouTube game with these things because they just do it. I am like, you're on my phone.
Right.
You're on my phone. You're on my phone because and lives are a heck of a lot easier
Yes.
to deal with, and you don't have to edit, but you have to get so many views before you can, start to monetize and, advertise in different ways, which you may not even be ready for. And it's not really, it's your option. It's your
Right.
option. But
It,
then us YouTubers also go through these times that, like, so for me, I'm 46 and I'm seeing all these new channels come out and I'm like, look at these young pups and they're like killing it. And like, look at this gorgeous edited video. And I'm like, I can't do that. And I'm like, or they keep talking about the same things over and over again. So then I feel like I've got nothing to talk about. But
mhm.
then I'm like, okay, what do I like? I'm like, I
Yeah.
like to garden. I'm going to talk about herbs and how I use them.
Yes.
I think it was Courtney Stallings that said, I would love to see videos about stuff that you grow in your garden and how you use it in your practice.
Yeah.
So one of my mentors or big witchy sisters was Sunshine Morning Ray.
Mhm.
So she used to do an herb 101 or something. So I feel like I've sort of taken that because she no longer does it
Mhm.
and adapted it into something that I do. I
Mhm.
like to travel a lot. So I like to go to, little metaphysical stores and things like that and take you along for the ride. Always
Yeah.
get permission from the owner before you start that
Of
camera. Well, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes there's a
course.
camera in their face. They're like, they get
No.
real upset about that. Don't do that.
Right.
But
Right.
you're going to find something that's going to be authentic that you want to talk about.
Right.
Maybe it's all about animals. And
Mhm.
maybe you're just an animal lover and you're connected to, that type of animal spirit,
Mhm.
and a path. I don't know. You're going to figure it out. Don't
Absolutely.
ever compare yourself to somebody else and their channel and their content because you can just be yourself. And
Right.
people are going to love it.
Right.
People will just love it.
Right. That
You're like, right. Yes, they're going to love it.
I feel like I can't be the only, hot mess express, lazy witch that is just kind of breezing through, picking and choosing what I want. So I can see there probably would be. There was a couple of people in the comments who were like, "Oh hell yeah, I'd watch that channel whenever we were talking about it earlier."
Mm-hmm.
Um, but life right now is not gonna allow me to do that. I will say though, I'm getting back into a hobby of mine that I absolutely love, which is photography. And I finally
Mm-hmm.
bought a new camera. So whenever I
Ooh,
do get ready, I'll have a camera because it's a nice one.
nice, nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Very.
Very, very good.
So
Well, you may call yourself lazy witch. I'm saying that you're really you're really just reserving your energy for something more.
That's a better way to put that.
It's coming. You're thinking about it. You're organizing it. Your
Yeah.
intentions are out there. It's going to be when it's going to be, and it's
Right.
going to be perfect at the time that it's going to be perfect. And
Right.
just know that. That's just how the universe will work it out. Life
Hmm.
is life. And I mean, there's a lot of us that are going through some pretty nasty stuff. Hence why I have this series, Truth Talk, and we're just making it away. And there was a time I had to reschedule several videos because I wasn't feeling good and life was just really coming at me.
Hmm.
And most people understand that, and you can do what you can when you can do it. Sometimes it's like a 5-minute video. You'll be like, hey, this is this and that's that and blah blah blah, and peace out.
Yes.
There you
Yeah.
go. And
Yes.
there's your channel.
That's about what it would be.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. I just saw a comment pop
Yes,
up
yes.
that is like tingling my interest. She said, I like how Lady Grave Dancer uses amethyst to heal her fur babies.
Mm-hmm,
I need to research a little bit more into this
mm-hmm.
because um I have a German Shepherd with so much freaking anxiety. He was bottle
Yeah.
fed and he still is the most anxious thing I have ever met in my entire life. He's about to get a bag of crystals around his neck. Oh,
Oh.
he I can't even bring the nail trimmers out. I was using the nail trimmers on somebody else earlier today, and he literally was like, I see them. Gone.
Oh.
Gone. Like I saw his little nose like peeking around. I say little, he's 70 pounds, peeking around the corner, like, what you doing, mom? And he'd get a little closer, and I brought snacks out because I'm trying to train the puppy. And then he's
Mhm.
like, I keep
God,
hearing, I keep hearing the click clack noise. I'm gone.
I'm
So
gone. I've often wondered. So, like, when we take Luna to the groomer to get her nails done and,
mhm.
her ears cleaned, and I mean, she's an Australian Shepherd, so there's grooming. There's a
Yeah,
lot of grooming involved with an Australian Shepherd. Otherwise, there's mattings, and we have to get the brush, and she's just gotten to let me do her
yeah.
ears, and I have to, like, strong arm her down and
Mhm.
brush out the back of her ears. Otherwise, she gets these horrible mattings, and it's
Yes.
awful.
Yes.
And then if I take her to the groomer, then I get groomer guilt because they're like, "How many times have you been brushing her?" And da da da. I'm like, "I'm 46. Like, I'm getting it. Like really." And I'm just like, so anyway. But I wonder, like, how she really is with them. Is she just as bad with me? And then when we pick her up, she looks all pretty and she's so happy, and we're like, how was she? And they're like, oh, she was an angel. I think they're lying to me. I think they're
Um,
lying.
some of some will.
Yeah.
Some I've lied to owners before. Uh, I unless it endangers my life, I lie to owners all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 3-ring circus in the back, and
Yeah.
it takes 3 techs to get a job done. I'm not joking. I will say though, as far as brushing Luna, is she food motivated? Have you tried a licky mat?
Yeah, we tried the licky mat, and then she gets a little squirmy, and then somewhere around like the little button tail
Yeah,
and the haunches, all that fluff back
yeah.
there. The groomer had suggested that we comb the fur backwards, not this way, because of something about the undercoat of the
Oh,
Aussie is whatever. So we've tried that, and that is a little bit helpful. But now she turned 2 at the end of February, and she's still, they said that she would calm down. And you know what? In some ways, she has.
um,
This dog is like Tigger from Winnie the Pooh. She
I I almost wish you would have said something because I'd have been like, "Oh, you want a fluffy velociraptor all the time?"
She and then so she's looking. Oh, I'm getting shade right now. She's looking at me from her kennel like this. And I'm like, I see you. I love you. I'm talking shit about you. I love you. You'll be out soon. She's like,
Oh gosh.
mother. But she will steal toys from the cats. All toys are hers. It doesn't matter. She'll steal them. She really loves my underwear and my socks. Loves them. and we'll bring them out for anybody to see. So if ever you want a glimpse of Raven's underwear, just come on over because Luna will bring them out for you.
I'm not trying to scare you at all, but Pluto, the newest little Great Dane baby, I say little,
Little.
his foreign body that his owners, so you've heard the story. I'm going to explain it. The week my husband and I were talking about possibly getting another dog, and he said, "What about a Great Dane?" Literally 3 days later, I had these owners come in with a Great Dane who had been vomiting for 3 days. Wow, I just went into work mode. Um, he testing, come to find out he needed an emergency surgery because he had a big tube sock stuck in his intestines. He had eaten it. And he needed emergency surgery, which is why I said I'm not trying to scare you, but
oh my God.
yes. Those particular owners unfortunately could not afford emergency surgery. It's a side effect of having a pet. Sometimes you have to do that. And we can't, we're a business at the end of the day. So I know I'm probably going to get crap for that. We need to save them all. No, but we need to function as well. We need to, hold our head above water. And that's not an easy one either. And so long story short, they ended up, signing him over to me. They surrendered him to me. And we immediately took him back to surgery, and he lived at my house. I brought an IV pump home. He was in a baby pen in my living room. So watch the clothing, watch anything, honestly.
Watch anything. And you know what? She has outed this phase now. So I've noticed that, and now she's looking at me and I'm like, I love you.
You're so bad.
Yeah, it was all puppy business. And then somewhere around, I don't know, close to 2, she sort of stopped this, but I was on it. Like, just because I don't have a massive amount of socks, because my kids used to steal my socks all the time. And then I was like, where are my socks gone? And then sure enough, I'll see her with it. And so like, we're like, drop it. Or then we learned that like something that she would have, and she's just staring me down. I'm moving the laptop so I can't look at you. You're a mess. I love you. Okay.
I need to not make eye contact with you.
But I learned real quick that she had, like, when she would get something, she would get a little possessive aggressive. Like she'd raise her little snout or whatever, and she didn't like that I was telling her no or to drop it or whatever. She was just so sassy. And then I learned that you can do a trade. So then I would get something else that she should have, and if the trade was good, then she would drop it, and then she would go to her thing, and I would be allowed to pick it up or whatever. And this worked so much better than trying to like wrench it away from her. And then she just realized those weren't her things.
Right.
And so she just left them alone. So I'm lucky in that way. But I mean, I will tell you, if anybody wants an Australian Shepherd, they are lovely. They are beautiful. They're gorgeous. They're extremely smart. However, walking them around the neighborhood is not going to work.
No.
We have to take her up to the farm or to the beach or to the dog park. She has got to run. They are work dogs. And she was a rescue because this old lady, like, I don't know, she was like late 70s, thought that she was going to be a lap dog. And taught her a really bad habit, because the lady would sit in her chair and do like a tug of war with her. Not good. And so we had to train that out of her. We got her when she was 5 months old because people just couldn't handle her. And so the first year was really hard. There were times that I hated her. I'm like, why did I do this? And then I just look at her and I'm like, I remembered being a foster kid. And I'm like, would somebody keep me? And you got to learn real quick what unconditional love is. And she's just a pup, and she's been tossed around and passed around and all these different houses and smells, and let her get comfortable. And as she did, she is the most empathetic, loving pup. She's got a lot of energy.
Yes.
They say that she's going to be in puppy stage till, somewhere between 2 and 3, if we're lucky. if we're lucky. Bear's dreams of, sending her off to be a service dog, training is probably waning. It's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but she's a
Yeah.
lovely dog. And if I'm not feeling well or Bear's not feeling well, she's right there. She's
Yeah.
right there to help us. She knows something's wrong.
Yes.
She's very attentive, but she still will not stop hurt. The biggest problem, she won't stop hurting the cats. She'll herd them all over the place. And I'm like, Luna, leave the cats alone. All you hear, wow, fast. This is what happens in my home. And I'm like, will you leave the cat alone? And she's like, what?
Yeah. Currently having that issue with the Dane puppy. I can literally see him like doing the butt wiggle on the couch, which is hilarious because he's huge now. And I know there's a cat. There's a cat somewhere in his vicinity, and he's doing the butt wiggle like, I'm gonna go for it. And me and my husband have gotten to the point where if we see it, we try to like grab a collar, grab a body part, something before he's off the couch.
He's gonna do it.
He's getting.
And then they stick their snout up their hoo-ha. These poor cats are being assaulted daily. Daily dog assault.
Sorry. Snow's in the chat.
Snowy!
No, sorry, I got distracted. My bad. Hey, Snow.
We're talking about Luna and Snow. Out of everybody here, Snow has met Luna and wanted to make a bikini out of her little ears.
What?
But Luna was going through that really testy phase when Snow met her. So, Snow, you are a very patient person. Patient person. Yeah.
I can be so patient with dogs that aren't mine. Oh my goodness. I'm going to take this opportunity to remind everybody questions are open. I've only had one. If anybody has any questions, go for it. Other than that, you're going to hear us talking about anything.
We're going to be talking. Yeah, we're going to be talking. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Just put them in bold or put them in all caps.
Yeah, put them in all caps and bold or whatever you want to do so that we can see it. Because sometimes they fly through and we just miss. Yes. We just miss it. Yeah, for sure. Well, I was going to ask how you came up with Cinder Moonstone as your name.
So I was kind of playing around with the fire idea because I love fire. It's probably because I'm a fire sign. I love candle magic. I like to set things on fire. I can't wait to use the fire pit to do like some kind of bonfire situation, bonfire ritual. And then Moonstone is actually one of my absolute favorite stones. I've got several different versions. I'm looking at a piece on my nightstand right now that chills with me. There's a small piece that chills my necklace. Like, I just love it. So I kind of was on a little bit of a time crunch because you were like, okay, we picked a date. And I was like, fudge, I need something because I'm not quite ready to use my real, my legal name. But I also don't have a witchy name yet. And so I kind of was like, okay. Aw, I like that.
Sweet. That's a sweet. Thank you.
That is very sweet. Thank you so much. Oh, wow. The comment underneath said her wedding ring is Moonstone.
Gorgeous.
Wish I would have taken the opportunity to incorporate crystals into my set. It's a very pretty set. My husband did a great job. However, I had to look back and I'm like, I wish it was just a wee less traditional and a wee bit more, non-traditional, a wee bit more witchy.
More witchy. So like mine, I didn't want diamonds. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's always turned around the wrong way. Where I go? This way? No, gotta go that way. See, the camera's flipped. So this is a garnet. And then for my YOLO Valentine's anniversary stuff, I wanted some sparkle, so he got me a little band for that. So but I didn't want a diamond. Like, I didn't really want a diamond as a solitaire because I kind of like feel old school, like Renaissance days and things like that. diamonds were accents. They weren't the main stone. And the garnet I loved, actually went back in my biker days. Yes, I was.
Right.
But me and Bear were bikers. My name was Garnet. My nickname was Garnet, or my road name was Garnet. So, and I always loved garnets. It's my dad's birthstone. It's my favorite color is red, and I just love something about garnets. I love even like the brownie, smoky looking ones are just gorgeous. I don't know, something about the color red just makes me feel good. Where some people are like, oh, it makes me angry. For me, it just makes me feel really good. And Bear's favorite color is purple and orange. And those three together, those were our wedding colors. It was very bold, very bright.
Yeah. That is very bold and bright.
Mm-hmm.
I bet it was nice, though. That it was very pretty. See, I love like blues and teals and things. And my husband's is green all the way. Oh my God, if everything could be green. So I try to incorporate a little bit of both, but sometimes it pulls more green because he can be a little bit more stubborn than I can, which is surprising. So what is the oddest part of my practice? I find the most interesting. What is the most oddest part of my practice?
Thinking. Oddest part of your practice. That's interesting. That's an interesting question, Snow. Now I'm trying to think. How would I answer that?
Right.
Oddest part of my practice. I did something on Instagram today, and I had the thought, because I've been, struggling with my own, energies and depression and other stuff that, everybody goes through their deals, and I'm trying to get some insight on things. And so I'm just like, well, I've got my glasses. I'm always, this poor thing is going to croak. Hold on. I've got my glasses, and so I have my reading glasses on one altar with one question to that deity, like for some extra insight. So if your glasses are, filters in which you see through things, I thought that would be cool to tie it to my deity. So then I have my major glasses for protection on my Sekhmet altar, and then I've got my sunglasses. I've got glasses all over the place, all my different glasses, my reading glasses, and so now I can't find any of my glasses. So I'm like, where's my glasses? And I'm like, are they on my head? No, they're not. They're on. I got to go get them off an altar. And you know what? Today, it made a huge difference. There were some things that I could see a little bit differently through that filter, because I had it on a specific altar with my petition or my question, and it came through. So that's the thing.
Oh. That's actually a really good idea. Like, I like hearing, kind of like Snow, I like hearing other people's practices and kind of how they incorporate things, because I don't need glasses right now. I need to find some wood.
You have sunglasses. You need sunglasses. You can use those.
Sunglasses. You're right. You're very right. I wouldn't think about that, but we enchant jewelry. Why not something else that we wear? That's wow. So I probably would say one of the oddest parts of my practice, and you can see part of it. Hold on, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to tilt the camera screen up.
Ooh.
This is my altar setup. It is Dallas Though Halloween lights that are strung across the top, because I need a little bit more like lighting, because I usually cut off all the lights. My bedroom in the new house we bought had 3 closets in it, and one of them was just so perfectly set up. It's got literally shelves all the way up both sides.
Whoa, that's perfect.
And there's accordion doors, so I can shut it if we need to. It is in the bedroom, so nobody really comes in here. However, it does have accordion doors that I can pull closed if I need to have a closet moment, because somebody's.
Oh my gosh! So you're really in the broom closet.
100%. Look. Oh gosh, my freaking computer just died. Hold on. Broom.
Yes, you are.
Broom, because I haven't hung her up yet. I'm not joking. Oh
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
And then I would say the second oddest thing is that I always have to have music playing if I'm going to be doing something. I always
Mm.
have to have some kind of music playing. We have a record player. I'll go pick a couple of records. I found some used like Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks, very, very typical
Witchy
witchy
vibe.
music. Or
Yeah.
in a pinch, I'll like cleanse my phone really quick and I'll just find something long on YouTube or like a playlist on YouTube or something. And I have to have some kind of music to be able to like focus and strip it down, whether there's words or not, or
Yeah.
whatever I'm feeling that day. So
Yeah. That is a thing. That is
yeah,
a thing. And music is so like that changes the energy like that. It really does. I mean, different scents,
absolutely.
that, all of the smells that you get with that, obviously hot and cold can totally
Mhm.
change the energy in the room. And then, but that music, there's something about it. There's just something about it. It taps into your emotions. It taps into all of it. I have a meditation uh, playlist on Spotify that I use, and there's like so much stuff in there, like so
Mhm.
much stuff. I mean, it goes from I am pagan, da, 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 like that's the one that Tequila uses and all of her stuff. I have that one, and then I have a lot of Trinity. So they do like the really pretty Bridget song. It's gorgeous, and then a lot of Fleetwood Mac, a lot of Enya. I'll go Enya, and like I mean, I will go old school '90s, like
Yes,
eclectic, weird.
yes.
Yeah, I'll do it all. And even into classical music and then Viking music. No joke. Viking music.
Oh, that's
So when I was doing my workouts with my trainer, he's also Viking. So he and Bear were like getting on like peas and carrots. And actually, he's the husband to our real estate agent. And when our real estate agent was taking us around, she's just like, "Okay, you guys are coming over for dinner because we just love you." And so then we all just hit it off. And so now we're friends. And
yes.
John was, doing this weightlifting with me. And so he's like, "Okay, I've got music. You're not feeling it." And then I said, "Well, what are you talking about? What are you going to put on, Beastie Boys, or what are you going to put on?" And he's like, "No, I've got something for you." And then sure enough, it is like, "Whoo, ha, ha." But let me tell you, I was
Yes.
lifting. I was like, "Yes, yes."
Yes.
You know,
Oh, that's so funny.
it's great. It's great. I will share. Do you have Spotify?
Yes, I do. I do.
I will send you the Viking list. It's
Yes.
John's Viking list or whatever. I will share the list with you. It is
Yes.
fabulous. And some of them are like really, really beautiful, and some of them are like, whatever. And he's very much a meat eater. And so he changed the words to the song and just made me laugh. But there's like all these guys going, har, ha, he, whatever. And then we eat the meat. So what are you doing? We were just, I'm like, you can't make me laugh doing it. I'm like, I almost peed myself. It was ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Oh my
Oh,
goodness. Yes, Viking music. Way to go.
yes, indeed.
Way to go.
I'm gonna have to. As funny as that is, I really want to start looking into like Norse mythology, Celtic mythology, and stuff. So like, send me the Viking playlist. I
Okay.
want.
I
I'm gonna,
will. But
gonna
see
make
now, okay,
this.
so what you just said right there
Mhm.
means that you're already tapped in. So you're already kind of like there's stuff scratching right there that you're gonna
Yes.
and then
Yes.
you're gonna come here and then you'll be like, "Oh, I really like this," and then I'm gonna look at runes. And then
I want a set of runes so
see,
bad. I
there
was
you
torn
go.
between a rune set or a tarot deck, and I was like, I don't know which I want to go with. Let's do them all.
I'm collecting teacups and loose tea and all that other stuff and practicing tea leaf reading right now.
Fun. I don't like
Mhm.
tea. Unpopular witch opinion. I don't like tea.
That's okay because you can also do coffee grounds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
Hey,
can also do coffee grounds. Yep, that's a
very
thing.
interesting. Very interesting.
And for me, I thought that that's more personal of a reading, and
Mhm.
it may not encompass everything, but like a tarot deck would or
Mhm.
a tarot spread would, but because they're putting their energy in it, because they're drinking it, and then you
Right.
turn the cup over or whatever, so
More
it's like very much
personalized.
them.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would more personalized. Wow. Oh wow,
Oh,
I see some some all caps. Hey.
see some more stuff. Okay.
Oh,
Yep, yep. That's a good one.
yes.
Mhm.
However, yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't know where I would start with that, finding out the right, Reiki information and stuff. I would probably have to travel to find any kind of even a Reiki master to work on me, kind of a thing and work on a session. I would love to.
If
I
you want to learn Reiki, I can tell you that Udemy has a course that is pretty inexpensive.
Oh, okay.
Get on Udemy and you're going to find some courses and you can actually get your certification because there is no
Okay.
real certification
Right.
for that kind of stuff. It's the same thing with I think herbalism. So like there's no like FDA certified herbalist
Right.
course that you
Right.
take. So you take that with your regular college practices and that type of thing. And then you're just very mindful about everything else. And then you take these other courses and they say they'll certify you, but
Mhm.
who's really certifying you? So
Right.
you gotta look at that. Like
Right.
what is this? There's no accreditation, I guess is what
Right.
I'm saying.
Right.
So with Reiki, that also falls with that. You'll find Reiki masters out there and it's really my like I've had Reiki done on me
Mhm.
from a distance
Mhm.
and it was okay.
Okay.
I've had Reiki in person that rocked my world.
Wow.
Absolutely rocked my world and I think that that is something about the proximity.
Oh yeah.
Maybe there's somebody that can like really like zap me from afar. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. But yeah, find somebody and they'll usually start taking you on, especially when you're asking the right questions and you're not like after the money stuff, you're really after just hungry for the knowledge. They
Mhm.
usually start taking you on for that kind
Mhm. I the second part of that is into my work. No,
of thing.
because my clinic is very small, living in the Bible Belt. They would probably look at me like I was freaking nuts if I
You
was
could
like,
be doing it on the down low. You don't
"Oh,
even
I
have to know
do."
that you're doing it.
No. I do. Whatever
Oh,
if I'm carrying something with me, I will, even if it's, like, unconscious Reiki to an extent, I will use
mhm.
some slide something into my hand as I'm recovering a surgery patient from anesthesia, kind of a thing, and then
Yeah.
put it back in my pocket like nobody's looking. Um, uh but, like, to openly come out and be like, "I wanna do Reiki like, the old dogs, whenever we do, their
Mhm.
laser therapy in the back, I wanna start working," they would look at me like I was absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, I know.
They're older, and the person who owns the clinic is older, and he's trying to set it up for his daughter and everything, so, like, I'll just keep doing it on the slick. I
You're
will
gonna do it on the
probably
slick.
yeah, I'll probably have my pocket stuffed full when I finally get a teaching job though to separate uh wild child energies from myself because I want to be a high school teacher and I know that's going to come with some hot mess express energy as well.
Maybe it's called the Magic Hot Mess Express.
The mag-
Magical Hot Mess Express or something like that. That sounds good.
yes.
But
Yes.
still.
The Hogwarts Express, it's it's the hot mess express.
Oh my god. We should CGI the train and then
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's one of my favorite phrases because, like, I'm conducting it, you just along for the ride.
you along for the ride. You along for the ride. You could
Absolutely.
do it in your home. You could find a little space and then do a side business.
That's
Mm,
true.
a side hustle.
That's true. Oh my goodness. You're setting me up for for side hustles and YouTube channels
I
and
do things. I do this. Trust me. I had Noah on, the other day, and he was just like, and then you talked about the 24-hour chat. That was all of my brain schemed. I mean, he's like, okay, Lucy, what are we doing? He's got just like, she's going to text me again. And that's how I was in Texas. And I'm like, okay, so I have an idea. He's like, oh, here we
no,
go.
I
Here
don't
it's coming.
I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to hear what comes behind. I have an idea. I think I want you to stop there. No, I'm joking. I'm always open to ideas. That would be really cool though. I might look into that a little further because the Great Dane's going to have another surgery coming up.
Oh,
Um, it's not a bad thing. It's more of a preventative measure. So deep
good,
chested
good.
breeds, so things with those deep pointy chesteds, the giant breeds especially are prone to something called GDV or bloat. It's where
Yes.
their stomach
Where
flips
their
over.
stomach flips. Yep.
Yes, yes. And so whenever he gets neutered, we're gonna do a preventative gastropexy where they actually tack the stomach to the lining of the abdominal lining to prevent it from flipping and emergency surgery and all this, that, and the other. So he'll be recovering from another one, and that would be a great opportunity to
To do
pull
it.
that out. And like I was saying, the anxiety with the German Shepherd and everything too. That would Thanks. I like that idea.
Mhm,
Midnight Moon
mhm.
Rose.
We
Midnight
could
Moon
do
Rise.
that.
Excuse me. I said that wrong. I apologize. Oh, so
Okay,
I'm
let me
scrolling
type
up
that down.
and we missed one from Snow.
Did we?
Which pop culture witch do you most identify with?
Oh, 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 I know this one. This one's easy for me.
Yep. I as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I know exactly who I would say. Hermione Granger. One, one
You? Hermione Granger?
yes.
Leviosa.
Yes. That whole first movie, especially, yeah, don't watch it with me because I'm just gonna say all of the lines, all of the everything. I saw.
I'm fixing. I'm feeling a little Harry Potter-ish right now. I could just go and watch a show. Like I'm serious. I'm down, and I can I can watch it anytime as well. I absolutely could. I love it. I absolutely love it.
I am
And
in the
that and
middle of.
Practical Magic. I could probably watch Practical Magic
Oh my
nonstop. Which for me, my icon would be Aunt Frances.
yes,
So Aunt Frances for me, I think I even got the hair for it. I live on the island. I'm ready. I'm ready.
yes,
I got the hat. I got the floppy hat. I'm
yes.
not as sassy as her. I'm a little more goofy. I'm a little more
I
goofy.
don't know,
I got
Ray.
some sass. I got some sass.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
I want to be Aunt Frances when I grow up for sure. I love her. And
Ray.
what's interesting is that she was Rizzo in Greece, and I played Rizzo in high school. Did you not know that? Mind blown. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, she was just much younger. And she
I
was sassy as hell then too.
yes.
She was, yeah.
I need to go bring this up to my husband because he loves Grease and loves Rizzo. And literally, I'm about to tell a little spoiler. He'll probably shoot me if he ever sees this. He has there are worse things I could do the song on his like phone playlist and we'll bring it out and like sing it and everything. It's hilarious. I
Oh,
love
no,
it
we do it
so
in our family too because Ridley was Frenchie in Greece
much.
in high school. I was Rizzo in Greece in high school for my high school musical.
Wow.
And like all of us, like, and I had a ton of theater kids in my house when they were all in high school. Like I either had the swim team in the house and they were all doing stuff, or I had the theater kids in my house. And we would like put up things, and I mean, people would dress up, and it was just like fun. And there was a lot of kitchen dancing, and there was a lot of like, you're the one, you are the one. Honey, I mean, we did a lot of that. We just did a lot of that. It was super fun. And I mean, I was the crazy mom that on Halloween happened to be a school day and a Friday, and I show up to pick up my kids blaring, "This is Halloween, this is Halloween." The Marilyn Manson version. I'm that mom. I will embarrass you. Yeah.
That is the best. You give me so many ideas. My future hypothetical children are screwed.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's really good. And then like there was one time our son like wasn't turning in anything. He has ADHD and two different forms of dyslexia. So school was very difficult for him. I see that yawn. We're ending soon. I see that yawn.
I
But
had to work
school
this
was
morning.
really,
It's
really
not just
hard
you.
for him. and he wouldn't turn anything in. And then I'm like, okay, do you have any homework? He's like, no. And I'm like, okay, let me see your backpack. He's like, well, maybe I left it at school. I'm like, well, let's go back to school. And then he's just like, well, I don't think our teacher is there. I said, well, I have his cell phone number. Let me text him. Like, you're not getting away with this. He's like, you're not getting away with this. He's like, okay, I have homework. But then it's just like, it was just such a thing. And so then Bear, you know, had embraced his amputation and turned into a pirate. So Bear showed up for a week and followed Casper around as a pirate. That was awesome. So Bear still has friends on his Instagram because he made friends in the hall with Casper's friends in high school. And they still follow Bear on Instagram and still talk to him.
That is the best thing I have ever heard, and I would have been mortified because I was the kid who my mom taught at my high school, and so everybody knew I was so and so's kid.
Yeah.
And the only thing I could say would top that is the time I got written up for using some potty language mouth. You know, as you can tell, mouth of the sailor. Get it honest. And the aide wrote me up and laid it on my mom's desk instead of bringing it to the principal's office.
Oh, you were screwed.
I didn't get suspended, but I got my ass beat.
Yeah, you did.
Because she was like, you did what in whose class? You said what? And I wasn't even talking to the teacher. I wasn't being that disrespectful. I was talking to a friend of mine or something, but yeah.
Oh my God. We had friends that worked at the high school. So my husband used to be a part of American Racetracks, and one of his old team members turned into one of the teachers at the high school. So we had him, we had Kurt. Then we also had a friend in the office that I used to work with that they didn't know about, and I never told them. They're probably going to watch this video and be like, oh, it makes so much sense now. Then we also had another friend that was a teacher's aide that kind of like roamed around and like would only do like freshman and sophomore work and would help those teachers. And then when our kids graduated to junior and senior, they moved to those classes. And so we really had spies. Like we had spies all over the place. And then their friends loved us so much that they would out them all the time because their friends, if they needed rides, we would be like, okay, call us. If you guys are drunk or if there's something happening, you call us, we'll pick you up. You know, like they were Ridley's ex-boyfriend still like broke up with Ridley and then would text Bear all the time. Like, do you want to play like World of Warcraft with me? Like, I mean, like we were friends with the kids. Like they couldn't get away with anything. These poor babies, they couldn't get away with nothing. But we were pretty cool parents too. So like, yeah,
I can see that. Yeah. I can see that. My mom was that cool, but like to a respectful point. Like I'm still the mom, but we're gonna be cool about it. Like she. I don't know. I don't know if anybody remembers this or if this was also a thing for anybody else, but like parents would get together and like plan kidnappings for their kids. And that's what we called it. But like everybody knew, the parents all knew about it. Everybody was involved. It wasn't an actual kidnapping, but like the parents would blaze through the house at 4 a.m. Get up, get dressed, get your PJs on. I got a backpack to get in the cart. That was my mom. We're going on the road. No, like, she did that a couple of different birthdays because she never liked doing the birthday thing. It was always let's go take a road trip and do something with like one or two friends. And she would do that and be like, it's like by the third or fourth time, it was whatever the last time was. I kind of was like, okay, I know what's going on. I appreciate wherever this is going. Do we have to get up at 4 a.m.? Like it had lost its, who's dying? What are we doing?
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I could do that. Oh my word.
It was coordinated it with everybody. Everybody knew. She would wake me up. Everything was packed. Get your jammies, get in the car. And then it was go pick up so-and-so, go pick up so-and-so. Their parents kind of did the same thing. Get in the car, you know.
That is so
cool. It
so
is
cool.
But it's also slightly terrifying.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. Okay, yeah, I could see that.
When you're like, why grab my pillow? Okay, let's go. She did. The one I remember vividly, I was in like 6th grade and I had a core little group of like 3 friends. There was like little 4 musketeers of us, and she did it to us. And we went to this, we were in Texas at the North Texas at the time, and we drove to Oklahoma to some wildlife park that we could drive through, but there was also like touching animals and feeding them out the car and all kinds of other stuff. And that's how she woke us up, was literally like banging on the door, let's go. I was like, Mom.
And she's concerned that you're a witch now? You're trying to protect yourself. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. That's really cool, though. What a cool experience. I mean, we would do friend trips and things like that, but then, I don't know, like I got burnt out. There were so many people in our house all the time that I was just like, okay, no, leave me alone. Like, that's a thing. I know. Did you see what Snow said?
Did you see my face as I looked down?
Yes, I saw that.
Your dad put
Why
you
are you? Well, she's really tiny, she's skinny.
Yeah, I do.
She would have all kinds of space. It would be like a condo for her.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. There are some small trunks in this world.
True.
We're not talking about like a Cadillac trunk that's got room for 3 bodies, Oh my goodness. That's smart, but also slightly scary.
Here, we're going to put it on screen because when this replays, they're going to be like, what are they talking about?
Your dad put you in the trunk to see if you can get out. I mean, that's life skills.
That's life skills.
That's life skills.
And apparently she made it. So I think she did. I think she got out. She came out of that trunk.
My mom just showed me the lever. She was like, here, look, if you're ever here, you see the glow in the dark, it'll glow. Pull that. It'll.
She says, fun fact, there's a glow in the dark lever from the inside so you can pop it open. Life skills, survival skills.
I did not know this was turning into a survivalist channel.
Survival mode. Oh, no. Well, it is getting late for you. I do have to pee, and I do have to let this dog out because she is looking at me with like a fierceness that I can now see through the laptop.
Yes.
With a look.
Yes.
I see you. She's so cute. Oh, gosh. Thank you for coming on. We have to do this again. Yes. I would love to, as you are experiencing things or whatever, you're always welcome to message me and ask me questions. Mm-hmm. And if you want to like talk something out and get other people's expertise or viewpoints on it, we can do that live. I have no problem.
Absolutely. I would be totally down for that. You have a little bit of like an imposter syndrome where you're like, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm just going to sit here and listen. Noah did that with me a couple of years back. He brought me in on a chat and I was like, and that was all I could offer because everything was like, I'm just absorbing so much, but I would absolutely love to do that. And I thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And remember, I told you before you came on, don't feel like that because I was where you were. And I had the lady grave dancer knocking on my door. Please come on my channel. I'm like, what? I'm like, I was a new little, I felt like I was a new witchling. I'd always been a witch, but I was like serious about my practice and like really was doing it. And I was like only a year in. I had like maybe 300 subscribers on my channel. I'm like, what does she want from me? Like, I don't know.
Right.
Like what? And I just answered questions honestly and sort of found my way through it. And then she's like, well, let's do like witchy threesome with her and Trina and myself. Ooh. I was the new witch perspective.
Okay.
During that time frame. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I just answered those questions as honest as I could. I'm like, how do I feel about that? I don't really know. You should go back and look at that and probably have a really good laugh.
Yeah.
Or you can watch Harry Potter.
Yeah, probably Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry Potter.
Harry Potter first.
All right. Well, tomorrow night I will be on with the wonderful lady from Down Under, Crimson Fire. So that is 6 p.m. my time, and I have no idea what time that is for her. I think it's the next day at 11 for her. So isn't that crazy? I know Melbourne, Australia versus Seattle. That's the thing. I say Seattle. It's really Whidbey Island, but I'm close to Seattle. I'm close enough so that I
Right.
just
Close enough.
whatever. And
Close.
then the threesome chat continues because Monday night I will be on with Noah Tempestari and the Lady Grave Dancer on my channel because it's my turn. And so we are going to chat about stuff. I don't even think we have topics. It's been over a year since we've done this. We're just probably going to chit chat about damn near everything. So if there's questions that anybody has for us, start sending them. Start messaging me. Start sending them through just get it to us and we will talk. We will talk. But for now, we love and leave you. Many blessings, everybody. And thank you, Miss Cinder Moonstone, for coming on.
Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.
Bye, you guys.